Warning! What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Ladies and gentlemen, dorks and dweebs, nerds of all ages, GeekPod Network Productions is proud to bring to you the most electrifying middle-aged guys in Syracuse. The Doctor, Hugh Allen. The Pod Whore, Paul Showens. Alone, they are single geek beacons in a dark cop drama world. But when the mics go hot, they are GeekPod. God, that's right! Welcome to GeekPod, the only podcast that watches hardcore porn for the plot and cinematography, because Pirates by Ali June is a goddamn masterpiece. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Corbs.
I'm Hugh.
Gentlemen, let's catch a buzz.
All right. Well, we got some interesting stuff going on this week. Now, the first beer you've got in front of you, I was excited when I saw this, then found out it wasn't quite what I thought it was. This is something from Founders. I brought two Founders beers today called Redankulous. Now, there is a Founders beer called Dank Wood, which I've had, which I've now discovered is this beer, but aged in bourbon barrels. And when I first grabbed it from Wegmans, I was like, wow, this is different. I've never had anything like that. It's weird, but I kind of like it. Discovered that the bottles were like from 2017.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were really old. When I saw this today, I was like, oh, wow, this must be the regular version of it. It turns out they actually haven't brewed this recently. This is also from 2017, so I'm a little worried. But this is an Imperial Red India Pale Ale. Now, I'm not one for red beers. I don't like, regular red ale. But when I picked this up before, I was really shocked at how good it was. It is, when they say dank, they're not kidding. We're not talking dank in like the pot sort of way. We're talking, it hits you full force. Just to read off the back, this bold 9.5% Imperial Red IPA pours a pleasing burnt amber, color caramel, and roasted barley introduce a subtle sweetness, but the hops are the true headliner in this big IPA. The spicy, piney, tropical complexities of Chinook, Mosaic, and Simcoe hops hit you right away with their dank aroma, and they stick around. It's not just ridiculous, it's ridankulous. I'm going to tell you, Paul, this is going to taste like no IPA you've had before, even without it being aged in a barrel. This is definitely something different.
Okay. All I know is everything you just said there made me think of Tracy Morgan's part in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. With the whole, I don't know what the fuck you just said, little kid, but you touched my heart.
Oh, that's great. That's great. But, hey, guys.
Let's do it.
I'm going to talk. I'm going to let you guys take a sip, and then I'll try it, and hopefully it's as good as I remember.
Now, I don't know. Are you catching it, too? Like, you can actually smell it through the room.
Yep.
Unless that was Hugh. That wasn't.
No, that was not me. That's
Okay.
definitely the beer.
Got a good aroma to it.
Yes, it does. It doesn't smell like dish soap, which is good.
That's always good.
That might have been the glass, too. I don't know.
Oh, that's so good. That is an excellent, excellent beer. Can you believe that's still considered an IPA?
Only because you told me it. If you would have just poured it without doing that, I wouldn't have said that. This actually reminds me of the chocolate beer you made.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting
the vibe I got
it's
off
a completely different kind of beer.
Yeah.
Not even close.
It's exactly the same, but totally different.
What?
Yeah, that's going to be that kind of show. I've been looking forward to this all day, by the way, guys.
What, the show or the beer?
The show. I didn't know about the beer. All I knew was Founders.
Yeah.
37. Damn.
Yeah, well, let's not stress it too much because my wife will kill me. I put it
in
on
a row?
card. Yeah. No, you know what it was is I dropped my daughter off at work, and then I'm like, you know what? I want to grab something interesting, because I never bring beer. You always have beer in your fridge. And I was like, well, I got a little money on the credit card, so I swung by Stafford, and Stafford is great. I mean, this is one of my favorite stores. Not quite the selection of, say, branching out, but you're going to find stuff at Stafford you won't find at branching out, especially when it comes to beers that are past their expiration date, because you really need to look. You're going to find gems there, stuff that really shouldn't be out there in the market, stuff that people have been looking for and saying, I can't find this anywhere. It's in a box in the little back hallway that you're allowed to go, where they just stack boxes of beer, and you can go through them and look for whatever you want, and you will find shit that you're surprised is there.
Yeah, we'll probably have dust on the bottle, but it's okay.
Definitely.
Oh, that's what I thought I saw. I'm looking at it, I'm like, is that just like Frosty from being in the car? Or, nope, that was fucking dust.
Yeah, it absolutely was dust.
That's what you call an aged beer.
That's definitely aged.
There we go. See, I am not enunciating, and we barely started this.
But what we discovered from the beer fest, especially when we were having it at the founders booth, we discovered that the aging of their beers has a tendency to mellow out some of the harsher flavors. Like
Yes.
we were trying the KBS, we went through the several different levels, and I mean that was great.
Was it? I'm trying to remember which ones we tried, because it was a flurry of, here, try this, here, try this, here, try this.
It was, and maybe you didn't quite catch on it, but he was having us try the Kentucky Breakfast Stout, and we actually tried a few years ago, and then the more current one, and then the current one, and
That's when we were on, because people are going to be able to tell when I do this, that side.
yeah,
Yeah, that side.
And what I noticed from that is, when I first had KBS, the current version, this last year's version of it, the first thing I noticed, it was really good, but it was super boozy. It the bourbon barrel just hit you right in the back of your mouth. And while I don't necessarily dislike that, I kind of felt like it overpowered some of the other aspects of the beer. But when you taste the aged versions, that kind of like melds in, and it's still there, but everything seems to work in harmony.
That's what he said. I just drink it. I get handed beer and said, drink this, try it.
But the other thing to be excited about tonight, Paul, is this is our annual St. Patrick's Day episode. Because we're not going to get in here to record another one before St. Patrick's Day.
I want to change that. I'm really trying, because even Kristen said, why is it so long between recordings? And it's like, bitch, you have me doing shit daily. Like, when do I have time? But I really want to change that. Really, really want to change that. And I'm living proof that I can do it, because I've kept a weekly schedule on This Week in Geek. So, granted, I mean, I can sit down for 10 minutes and just rattle off about comics and toys, and then shoot it out, because, my co-host has been MIA on that one too, so.
Oh, so you've just been doing that by yourself?
Yes.
Any reason for your co-host being MIA?
Yeah, because he has a job. He's been getting scheduled those shifts when we do it. I'm thinking about firing him anyway, because he can't keep up the charade. We record on a Tuesday evening, but I make it sound like it's coming out Wednesday morning, and he keeps fucking it up. I'm like, dude, come on! No, Aaron, I'm not really going to fire you. Settle down.
Liar.
Probably. I mean, no. If you want to send your audition tapes in, No, I'm just kidding. So let's continue on. Let's start going into what's got you geeked while we're still doing it. Unless you had more to say about this specific beer.
No, I'm just going to enjoy it.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, that's what we never did. It's good, right? Everyone likes it?
Yeah, it's very good. I do it.
And
I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of IPAs. I don't drink a lot in general, but I could sit down and have one or two of these. And
I got to say I'm impressed, only because not to say you guys don't have sophisticated palates. Actually, I don't know about you. I haven't really drank with you before. But you did have a Budweiser in your hand when I walked in, so I have to go on
don't let that fool you. I was last night I was drinking vodka and salted caramel vodka and blue raspberry vodka.
Like I said,
don't look at me like that, Paul. Okay, just because I'm drinking fairy drinks, don't look at me like that. Seriously.
Just because
this is where it needs to be a video podcast, because then you can get the whole, the shit I am giving him and just slowly shaking my head at him.
No, it's just because when I first had the Dankwood version of this...
Every time he says that, I just think of him ripping a bong.
Yeah, me ripping a bong. When I first had it, I actually wasn't sure. I thought it tasted a bit like plastic. It was really weird and not what I was used to. So it took me going back to it, because back in my head, I'm like, there's something there and I'm missing it. I don't know how many people do that with beer, but sometimes I'm like, there's something there and I'm missing it. So I had to go back to it. And it became one of my favorites.
Nice. Usually if I'm saying there's something missing about this, it's because I don't have one in my hand.
That's what's missing.
That's because I am an uncultured swine when it comes to alcohol. He was trying his damnedest to educate me on it, but I'm just like, just give me alcohol. I mean, but I've got cool Pint glasses.
Oh, and that's half the battle, right?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter what you put in there, right?
No, it doesn't matter.
You also can't hear the eye roll over here. But
So, yeah. Paul, what's got you geeked?
well, two things. I was originally going to use the fact that we're planning our huge Disney vacation, which is a year away. But that's not really now. I'd rather talk about my summer concert series that I'm doing this year. And no, I don't play an instrument or sing, as Hugh can attest. He's heard me try to carry a tune. No, I'm going to be hitting some shows this summer, and I'm pretty fucking psyched about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, some pretty good shows coming around this year.
The first one, I'll go in order of the three that I have already lined up. The first one, JoJo Siwa in May.
You'd look great with a bow in your hair.
Yeah.
JoJo
Yeah.
bow.
Did we discuss that on our last episode together?
No, but yet I'm starting to think maybe you should be doing a podcast with my daughter instead of me.
I mean, we could do that too. No, freaking both the girls are into this shit. And so we thought it'd be a really good idea to get them tickets to go. It's going to be their first real concert.
Oh, well, that's just a perfect way to ruin them for life.
Yeah, I know. Well, my first concert was Huey Lewis and the News.
That is not a bad concert. Those guys are awesome.
I had a blast.
I got
I'm
you
not
beat.
going to lie.
I went to see MC Hammer.
Was that your first concert?
First concert, MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice.
Wow. Like, for the time, that's a mind-blowing fucking show.
You know what my first show was?
Your own?
Danzig. Well, yeah. Danzig,
Danzig.
Suicidal Tendencies, and Metallica.
Oh my god. Why
Wow.
did you go to a show after that?
I
It's
know,
like, I'm
really.
done.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, technically, Madison's first concert was the Dave Clark 5 at the fair. Because we took her as an infant, my dad and I, because he wanted to see them. So I'll hold that over her head for the rest of her life. But, so yeah, May, we're doing that one, and I've been elected to be the one to take them, which means they'll actually have a good time. And then in July, I'm going down to Buffalo to see fucking Rage Against the Machine.
No.
Aren't the tickets for that like ridiculously expensive?
They weren't when I got them day of.
Okay, because I saw some meme about them being like $300 a piece
No.
or something. Okay,
No,
I wasn't
no.
sure. I figured it wasn't true.
Everything across the board, when you could get them that morning, were $125.
Okay.
Not bad. I ended up in the 300 section 5 minutes after they went on sale.
Wow.
Yeah. But we'll be checking that out. That was one of the bucket list ones, and this is a topic I want to cover sometime, is like bucket list shows for everybody. I didn't really want to throw it at you like that, but because we're talking about it.
Dude, mine's already done, so.
Oh,
And mine will never happen, so.
he's dead, huh?
Oh, yeah, one of them is dead.
Was it Prince?
Oh.
Don't look at me like that. That motherfucker was talented.
Seriously, I would go see Prince if he was
Okay.
still alive.
I wouldn't.
No, my bucket list is Led Zeppelin.
I could see that. I would hit that one up too. And this was something that started on a drive back from New Hampshire. One of the years that we went out there, we were talking. Actually, it was 2 years ago. Now that I think about it, we were just bullshitting because it's a 5.5 hour drive and we're trapped in a car. And I started talking about bands and concerts and my bucket list bands that I wanted to see. And I was rattling them off, including Dropkick Murphys. And we come home, and don't they fucking announce that they're playing the fair like 2 days after that? I'm like, well, there's another one. In this bucket list, like, once they're checked off, that doesn't mean that I'm done with it. Because obviously I've seen Murphys like 3 times.
They're coming back this
They're
year.
coming back this year. That was the final one out of my 3 is the Murphys at the fair again. Yeah. So I will do what I've done the last 2 years in a row. Get fucking shit-faced and go rock out to some Boston Celtic rock.
Well, there you go.
Now, my bucket list was Pearl Jam, and I saw them. But, I'd love to see them again if they ever come to anywhere in fucking New York that isn't New York City. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know that Syracuse is a shitty town, but you've got Buffalo, and, I mean, the closest they come is New York City or Philadelphia. And
Toronto.
Okay,
They'll do Toronto, too.
And I don't ever want to go to Philadelphia again.
No, that place is a scumhole.
No, it wasn't a scumhole. It was just all the one-way streets with parking on both
downtown?
sides. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, it's just insane. I mean, I went down there with a buddy of mine who won the tickets from 95X, and we had won, tickets, hotel, right? So we go down there. We don't really have much money. We have a little bit of money thinking it's going to be for food, right? We had to park like 17 or 18 blocks away from the hotel because the hotel was going to charge us like $60 to park there.
That's insane.
After this was after the concert. You said we'd be coming in after midnight to sleep until like 8 in the morning and then get up and head back.
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. So we found a place that was only $30, so we still had a few dollars to eat, and then walked after midnight in Philadelphia with creepy people looking at us. It was just.
Oh, Trump was there when you were there too?
Wow.
I've told you guys that story, right? I know I told it on The Fight, but we literally had to relocate hotels when we were down there for Madison when we were at CHOP, because that motherfucker was staying across the street from us. It's when he was in town for his fucking victory lap or whatever.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have been able to get out of city proper to get to Madison's appointments. We literally had to uproot and move from the fucking hotel we were in out of, like, the actual downtown limits so we could get to where we needed to go, because everything was closed off the next day. And we found this out from a really cute blonde at Hard Rock Cafe while we were eating dinner. So fuck that guy.
Wow, so that's got to be tough, closing things off, and that's already a difficult city to navigate.
Yes. Yeah. There literally, you could not get in and out of the city.
Have you been there before?
Never been to Philly.
Okay, imagine a smaller than average size road. People are allowed to park on each side, but everything is one way. Okay? So you've got barely a car's width to get through. You don't necessarily know if you go up here when you're going to hit a street that'll let you go the way you want to go. It's just insane. Whoever designed this city grid was on drugs.
Most likely.
I mean, Syracuse downtown is a fucking dream compared to Philadelphia. I mean, it's not as big a city, but again, people complain about downtown being screwed up.
Yeah.
Not compared to that.
Which it is. Downtown sucks.
Yep.
More and more. It's getting worse.
Well, I will drive there at least. I don't want to.
I wouldn't drive in
to.
Philly if I could help it.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to touch on any more of the bucket list? Do you only have one bucket list band?
Yeah. Well, I've already seen Soundgarden. I mean, I'd like to see Alice in Chains, but it really isn't Alice in Chains.
It's not the same now.
Well, I haven't really given the new album a good listen, so they still might be fine. And I've always insisted that Alice in Chains was not Lane Staley; it was Jerry Cantrell. Sorry if you disagree, but yeah, I think that's where the sound comes from, his harmonies in the background. But I mean, I like them, but it's not like I really want to see them. I'd really like to see Pearl Jam a second time.
Me too. Where did you? Oh, you just told us Philadelphia. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me.
Yeah, finish that beer, Paul.
I saw them in Buffalo in 97, 96.
Oh, so before they were like so huge, they were selling out bigger stadiums for 3 and 4 days at a time.
Yeah, no, this was like Buffalo's whatever their biggest stadium.
Ralph Wilson. That's where the Bills play. That's the big
disgusting.
stadium.
No, this was a rooftop one, covered. I want to say HSBC. Now it's probably Key, which is where I'm seeing Rage.
Yeah,
but
that's
this was the one where they were fighting with
Ticketmaster.
With Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
Because I remember I carried that ticket around my wallet for years until it literally disintegrated.
You know what's actually? I think I still have mine in my wallet. What's funny about that is that if you look at the news about Pearl Jam and their new album and stuff, people say, "Well, these guys, 11th album, they're not as good as they used to, but maybe there's a few good tracks." But you know what? They're motherfucking top-selling bands right now that cannot sell out a stadium for 4 days in a row. And Pearl Jam comes into town, sets up, and a lot of times that's what they did when I saw them in Philly. It was when they closed down the Wachovia.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 nights in a row and sold out every single night. I mean, it's insane. I mean, I don't know if it's just that, the people that like them, aren't. I mean, they're buying albums. They're still making money. I don't know why they're not still popular, because if you look at their concert sales, you'd think that they're one of the biggest bands in the world.
They're just not radio friendly anymore.
Maybe that's
it could be
that's
what it
their
is.
thing. And a lot of
most bands that go not radio friendly don't again sell out 4 nights in a row in the same place.
Yeah, but Pearl Jam's got
the pedigree.
Yeah, they got a loyal following.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I'm not no offense, I'm not a fan of them. I never have been, because I lived in a house with 4 buddies of mine, me and 3 other guys. And when you listen to Pearl Jam for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 365 days a year.
When was this?
Right when they first got popular.
Well, the good news is they don't sound anything like that.
You want to take a drill and just kind of go right through your ear.
Yeah, they are completely different now.
Yeah, whole different sound. Yeah. I guess they released another track off of the album already, and I haven't heard that one yet.
It's called Super Blood Wolf Moon, and I can play it for you during the break or something if you want.
Outstanding. Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet.
Again, it's different. It's not as different as the other one.
Not a bad song, though.
No, it's not.
Dance
Actually,
of the
that
Clairvoyance.
got stuck in my head for like 4 days, to the point where I was like trying to listen to other music to get it out. Yeah, their first single from their new album is God, it's almost a dance trance track. I mean, they said they wanted to do something completely different. They all wrote pieces and then brought it in and then recorded it. Like, it wasn't what they typically do. But the song is completely different. I mean, if you listen to it, you would think it was like, I don't know, The Killers or something, maybe.
I texted you when I was listening to it that it sounds like a Talking Heads track. That's what I got out of it.
But it's really fucking good,
It is good, yeah. It sounds like the track list is going to have some really fucking weird names, though.
Yeah, it seems like they're going to go...
Is Eddie on drugs again?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's just him naturally.
Was he ever on drugs?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, he was.
Yes. During which album?
Yes.
Definitely during 10.
Oh, so the good one.
Yeah. Maybe you should go back on drugs. You listening, Eddie? No, you're not.
Wow, maybe if he is, that'd be kind of cool.
At his age? I mean, come on. If we're in our 40s, what's he got to be? They're older than us, right?
Yeah,
They've
slightly.
got to be, yeah. All right, this has turned into the Pearl Jam episode.
Okay.
Let's
move on.
Yeah. Okay, so, Corbs,
Yes.
it's got you geeked. Wow.
No, for me, it's baseball. Baseball season started.
That's right. It's come back.
Pitchers and catchers reported. Baseball. Actually, today was the first official day of spring training games.
I saw the Yankees game was on when I was at...
they lost 2-1 to the Blue Jays. So
They lost?
they did.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
I like it when that happens.
I love when the Yankees lose. I don't care who beats the Yankees as long as they lose.
Agreed.
So.
He was like, I don't give a fuck.
So no, that's it. I'm just, me. I'm a baseball fan. Even though I can't sit and watch an entire game, it's the world's most boringest sport. Maybe I don't know. Maybe golf might be boringer.
To watch, yes.
Yeah, golf is pretty.
You know what's funny? I actually enjoy watching golf. I don't know why.
I can't watch.
I watch one golf match a year. I watch the Masters. Every year. That's the only one. I'll turn it on and watch here and there. I watch a couple shots, and But for me, it's baseball. I like going to the games. I like going to the Chiefs games. I only got to one last year, but my son wants to go a few more times this year.
Nice.
So.
I've got to take the girls. I haven't taken the girls to a Chiefs game yet. Or a Mets game now.
Yeah, right. Get it right, damn it, because I used to call them the Chiefs all last year, and I caught shit for it. Fuck everybody. Sorry. I digress.
Corbs, drink your beer so we can open this one.
Yeah, we're
Sorry,
on you.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, I don't fucking drink.
But he was just telling us he was drinking vodka last night. Multiple kinds of vodka.
Yeah,
I had 2
salted
shots.
caramel douchebag with some blueberry dipshit, wasn't it?
That's basically what we
Hey,
got.
I'll tell you right now, the salted caramel one was pretty good, but the blue raspberry one was fucking amazing.
Delightful.
My girlfriend had a big shot
Is she
glass.
that big? Is that why?
Yeah, she's in my pocket right now.
Yeah, there's a different name for those.
She had, excuse me, she had a shot. She only wanted to do half the shot, so I got to do the other half. So, and her cousins and stuff were in town, so we were over to another cousin's house, and they were drinking and having a good time and out back sledding and all that stuff. And I'm like, here, try this. And she's like, no, I don't like that. I'm like, oh, fuck up.
No, it's mine now, I guess.
So then she did. So they were like, "Oh, try the blue raspberry one. You'll like that one." She took a sip of it. She's like, I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I do it. I don't care." That's what happens when I start doing shots. I just don't give a fuck.
They just keep going.
I just don't give a fuck
Done.
anymore. So that's what's got me geeked is
Baseball.
baseball and vodka.
Nice.
They go together real well.
I think that would be a bad idea.
Not
No,
for the viewers.
come watch us on Sundays when we play in the summertime. It's a good idea.
There you go. See, I can't come watch you on Sundays because I'll be playing football at the same time.
That's true. You're a
All
dick.
right. Sorry. Hugh, what's got you geeked?
Ready for a callback? On March 27th, Pearl Jam releases its 11th studio album, Gigaton. The first 2 singles, Dance of the Clairvoyants and Super Blood Wolf Moon, are out, and I am very much looking forward to this album. Not necessarily because I think, based off the first 2 songs, I don't know if this is going to be an album I really dig, but something I've noticed now that I have the 3-month trial, and I'm trying to find some way to scheme my way into getting a discount on the XM Sirius radio thing.
Gotcha.
Because we got a new car. You know that, right? We got a new car.
I think you mentioned it during
So I got a
Beer
new
Fest.
3-month trial. I am loving the Pearl Jam station. And
Nice.
something I'm noticing is songs where when the album came out, I was like, I don't like this one. Because as they went on, there were fewer and fewer songs on each album that really resonated with me. Mm-hmm. But the songs I didn't like are the songs I really like more now.
Interesting.
It's weird. I mean, like we said, they have a very unique relationship with their fans. And, I mean, I don't know if you're always in the right place in life to get a song. But as I get older, a lot of the songs that I was just like, oh, that's stupid. I'm like, oh, wow, I totally get that now. and it'll get stuck in my head. It's weird. It's not like that's the only band I listen to, but I don't know of any band I've ever listened to where I've had this kind of evolving relationship with their music.
Interesting. See, I need to go back to the old catalog then.
Yeah, maybe.
Now you're just doing it on purpose, aren't you? Can we do the game? Like, tell them about the game, Corbs. This was your idea.
Yeah, what's my idea?
Yeah.
So, I'll tell him. So, for Christmas...
So defensive, you see that?
Just keep it up and I'll whip this thing at you.
No.
So for Christmas, apparently, Paul got some GeekPod drink coasters from his wife. Apparently, she does love them.
I'm not sure about that. I think she's just trying to take over. Like, pretty soon, I think she's going to be our boss for this.
Take over it. She's the wife. Isn't she already taken over?
Everything else, yes, but this has been at arm's length.
You keep your wife at arm's length?
Well, you know what?
How do you have fun with her then?
If she takes
I've
over,
been married a long time. We don't have fun.
If she takes over, maybe we'll actually get somewhere.
Right, scheduling a workout. And
So the drinking...
You having a little trouble over there?
Yeah, because there's a goddamn cord in my way as I'm trying to equally pour out this crowler.
Yeah, except for that.
As he dumps it on the table.
Instead of watching him like an asshole, I probably could have been explaining what this beer was. That's all over the table now. That's a good thing we have those coasters. And we swear we're only one beer in.
I'm two. But that's alright.
Oh, well, good point. I forgot about my cherry shoof.
That's
whatever.
true. Oh, so we're going to talk about the drinking with the clinking and...
Yes, the clinking and the drinking. Go for
Did
it.
you even get there? I mean, how far
No,
did okay.
we started picking...
No, we started running. You just took a fucking spoon beer on the table. I mean... So every time you hear a clink on the coasters, you got to do a shot or a drink or something.
Yeah.
So we call it the clink to drink.
The clinking and drinking.
No, we don't. We didn't agree on that.
Fuck it, I did, so...
I didn't write
Cheers
it
to
down,
me.
so it's not going to show up anyway.
You're not going to fucking remember anyways. What does it
No.
matter?
All right, even though I'm the one that provided this beer, you want to go ahead and explain to them?
Well, I'll do the best I can. This is a beer from Freight Yard Brewing, which is a local place out on Route 31 in Clay. It's a blackberry porter. It is a 6.1% ABV, date 2/22/20. This is nice and fresh. Now, Paul, you said that you got this today. They were releasing. Where were you?
At Freight Yard. I went right to the brewery itself.
Oh, so you heard there was a release and you went right there.
I saw the release on Facebook because I've been following them. And Hugh and I, we'll pull the curtain back a little bit. Hugh and I were discussing, like, what are we going to do for Beer Bastards? We didn't really have anything lined up. Almost at the same time, because you texted me, I think, when I was on my way there. He's telling me about the founders he brought. I was heading out to grab something for this because, again, I don't know, I want to do something special. And this is kind of cool. It's a local guy. They're right up the street. We're trying to build a relationship with them, especially after I saw the bartender.
That doesn't help, Paul.
His name's Steve. No, I'm just kidding.
Or if it helps for a little while, and then everything goes to shit.
Right, and then we're looking for a new place to record.
I was actually thinking that we lose our sponsorship, but yeah, that could happen too.
Right. This goes back to Beer Fest when Hugh grabs me by the arm and says, "Do not fuck this up for us." But yeah, so I headed over there and grabbed one of their crowlers so we could check out this day of release of their brand new beer.
Wow, so this is brand new. Came out today. So this is a Blackberry Derailment Porter. We collaborated with Talking Cursive Brewing Company to create a porter that combines rare Cerebrianca hops from Three Brothers Hops in Kirkville, New York, with UK Bramling Cross hops for a unique flavor profile. Roasted notes from New York specialty malts and fruit flavors from Blackberry Puree combined for a classic porter with a twist. It's dark but fruity, heavy enough to get you through the dead of a CNY winter, but light enough to enjoy in the sunshine. You totally thought I was going to stumble on that one fucking hop name, didn't you?
No, I was impressed. And that's why I made you read it, because I would have fucking murdered that.
Yeah, I love it. You know, he's like, this is too hard. Let Hugh do it.
Well, and it was over there. But I was like, yeah. But anyway.
So let's try this.
We are also going to post their full beer menu of what was on tap there today. And funny story, which makes me look stupid, which you guys will appreciate. I walk up to the bar, and I'm patiently waiting. And again, the bartender was a young, pretty blonde girl. And she comes over,
Aren't
and
they all?
I've seen a couple brunettes too.
All right.
But basically, I mean, they're smart about it. And so she's like, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Can I have one of the crowlers of the new release?" She goes, "Yeah, crowlers are over there." And she points at the cooler over on the side. I'm like, "Oh, okay." Go over, grab it. You all right?
Son of a bitch. Yeah, it's the coaster stuck to my glass.
And you just chucked it across the room.
Chucking it fell off the glass. We need a paper towel.
We do, and we don't have them down here. If we get a break or something, I guess we can do that.
Put that right there.
I'm not taking my shirt off. I already took my pants off.
You did? What the fuck?
So, he really looked.
That's what was touching my. That was what touched my foot.
Dude, yeah, right. Okay, whatever.
Hey, theater of the mind.
Another foot, maybe.
So I go grab the crowler, and she rings it up. I swipe the card, and she looks at it, and she goes, "You grabbed the wrong one." I had a completely different beer. She made me do the walk of shame with the one I grabbed to go put that one back and get the one I wanted. It was awesome.
She's definitely going to remember you.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, and I gave them our card, by the way.
Nice.
Good chow. I thought I had. It was funny because my old man was with me because it was after cheerleading. And he goes, "Oh, I'll come in with you. I'll check the place out." I said, "No, listen, don't say anything." I said, this is business. I'm going to try and work something out here. He's like, all right, I'll just wait here. I'm like, don't come in if you want to go. I said, just watch me work. And we get like four steps to the door. I try to look at him. I said, by work, I mean, I'm going to end up buying a beer anyway. So, and I did. Because I didn't try to give a hard sell. I mean, it's just the bartender. It's not like I got to meet the owners or anything.
Yeah, then you find out that she's actually one of the owners of the company.
Yeah, that'd be my luck. Yeah. That I didn't even bother to try. Just, here's my card. Okay, so I'm actually going to try this now.
Yeah,
you guys have already tried it?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's good. I get the blackberry. It definitely is something you could drink on a light summer day, like they say.
It has a very light taste to it.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be heavier. I mean, porters aren't generally too high in alcohol, and they aren't generally too heavy. They tend to be sweet. But this is interesting. It's good. I like it. I would drink more of it. It doesn't taste like I was expecting either.
No, I expected a more of a fuller flavor. But again, not bad in any stretch.
It's because I've had you try so many dark beers, and this looks like a dark beer, but a porter is a different story.
Okay. I still don't understand all the differences.
Well, there's this amazing thing called the internet.
Yeah, I use that for porn and comic book stuff.
Okay, well, open up an extra window, and while you're watching, porn...
Why are you watching hardcore porn?
Right.
We say that like he's not watching animated Japanese tentacle porn or
No,
something.
ew, I've done that. I've watched La Blue Girl. It was weird.
So you're not into Japornime?
No, I can't do it. It's creepy. But I watched Ninja Scroll all the way through.
I don't know what that is.
I've seen that before. Wait, no. Fist of the North Star. I don't know.
That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Or
not fisting.
Fisting the North Star. There you go. Wasn't it a Marvel book?
I bet that actually exists. If you look it up, it probably does.
Probably.
Oh, do you realize how happy I am that I took the Alexa device out of the basement right now?
That's...
Kristen found that shopping list, by the way.
Shopping list?
You don't remember?
Oh, yeah!
Now that's a callback.
What did she say?
I don't want to know.
She laughed. Because I had warned her about it. I told her. No, we were down here recording in the middle of an episode. He just leans back and says, Alexa, add a big black dildo to the shopping list. Yeah, I took it up the next day. Got it out of here.
So the real question is, did she buy a big black dildo?
If she has, she hasn't told me.
Well, she probably wouldn't.
Right.
But if things are going smooth, you can bet she probably did.
Right. And that's funny because our neighbor was sending her text messages. She was at Kohl's, and she wanted to know what her opinion were on all these different things to buy today. And she was like, I don't know what she wants me to say. I said, don't say anything. I said, Google a picture of a giant black dildo and say, this is what I'm thinking about buying. What do you think? She wouldn't do it. I was disappointed.
Killjoy.
Right? It's not fun. Whines that she has to let people in the front door.
She's whining when she got to come to the front door.
Yep. Even though I'm standing in the driveway going, corpse. Corpse.
That's the creepiest thing. I walked up
But you know what? In her defense, I came in the house and she's watching Black Lightning. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the one show that and Supergirl are the ones I told her she can watch when I'm not in the room. Just because we had 50 episodes. She's completely caught up, by the way.
Yeah?
When did I tell you? It was at the beer fest that I said that we started rewatching it.
Yeah.
She's caught up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where are you?
In and out.
He's downstairs in the basement.
Yeah, watching a hardcore porn for the plot.
In cinematography.
You know, I was pleased with myself on that
Yeah,
one.
you know,
funny.
the funnier thing would be I'm watching hardcore porn for the memes. Or for Reddit Gold. So I know, I have things to post. But
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there is a not safe for work funny Reddit
I don't
group.
go to Reddit. I've never gone there.
But you should. Well, you can
Should
go there
check
in
it out.
4chan.
Okay. Did you know that your boy Andrew and I were in talks to give him his own segment for a while? Where he was going to do a porn review.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I like making jokes, but we really don't want our brand associated with that.
That's kind of how that fell apart, because one of my other buddies, I was telling him about it, and he's like, dude, you're better than that.
Well, that and the fact you realize if you did that, half of the episode would have been him making up his own sound effects.
Good point, yeah.
Which would have been actually really funny, but not good for us.
Can we just give him his own show on the network and let him do that?
You could just give him a microphone and put him in a room and just see what happens.
I don't want to see that at all.
Well, good, we don't have to listen to it.
There you go. All right, so everyone's done what's got them geeked, right?
Yes.
All right, next we're going to move on to apparently a Netflix qualm you have.
Oh, it's not a qualm. I just wanted to...
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
You got it now?
No, I know. I see where... Because I was reading this, and then there's a spot in the middle, which I thought was your commentary.
Okay.
It says, I am not okay with this.
Here, can you pass me the page?
But now I got you. I'm following you now.
No, I just, talk about, things going on, and I wanted to bring up the explosion of Netflix genre shows. I mean, there are... explosion.
Explosion.
Don't ever do that again. There's a ton of great stuff coming out of Netflix right now. Just to name a few, Lock and Key, I Am Not Okay With This, which is a show about a girl who gets superpowers that she doesn't want while also dealing with puberty and all sorts of other stuff. Army of the Dead, which looks, maybe it's a typical zombie show. I don't know. I mean, it's in pre-production. Chronicles of Narnia is getting a Netflix movie and a show. Ghost in the Shell is getting a new animated series on Netflix.
Didn't they just do a movie about that?
Yeah,
And it didn't work?
But that was the live action adaptation. This is Ghost in the Shell is an anime.
Yes.
Yeah, they're continuing the anime.
Oh, okay.
You've got Magic the Gathering has an animated show coming out. It was not this past week, but a few weeks ago. It was pretty much confirmed. There's a Resident Evil TV show in works at Netflix.
Holy shit.
Yeah. You've got returning originals like Castlevania is going to be debuting its third season here shortly, which is a fantastic show.
Yeah. No, you're Hugh.
Yeah,
Sal,
I am Hugh.
Sal Otero loves that. He's beating the drum for that.
It's fucking great. It's incredible. Altered Carbon, which I haven't watched yet, but it's getting a second season, so it's doing good. Of course, there is October Faction, which just came out. We watched it the week it came out with, based on a comic book, which I've never read, so I don't know how closely it hews to the original source material, but it was a fucking great show. I mean, if you're looking for something to watch on Netflix, watch October Faction. Even if you're not, into genre stuff, if it's not really your thing, this is just a good show. It's got everything. It's got action, it's got family drama, it's got the supernatural element, just across the board, good show. And finally, of course, there's The Witcher, which is returning for a second season, which was phenomenal and actually unseated The Mandalorian as the most searched for and most internet buzzworthy show on the internet. Yes, Witcher took the crown.
Haven't seen it, obviously, because we don't have Netflix. I haven't seen any of these shows.
Oh.
Which makes me sad, because I would like to see The Witcher. I'd love to see Lock and Key. But...
Well, I mean, you could have it if you wanted to. It's out there. Also, a lot of people were worried that when Marvel, took their stuff away, that, Netflix isn't going to have anything for us. They are clearly saying, I accept that challenge.
Right. Hold my beer.
Yeah, basically. I'm just blown away. I mean, yeah, we have some good genre stuff on regular TV right now and on HBO and stuff. But if you look at what's coming out of just Netflix, I mean, that's more than we've had for, 5-6 year spans with everything, all the networks combined. At some points, I remember, the 90s. You had a couple Star Trek shows and maybe a few in Highlander.
Yeah.
And then there was Nightman, which was awful and good at the same time.
I know what you mean. I just pointed at you for a reason. Now I forgot what it was. Oh, I know. I assume you're watching Picard?
Of course I am.
Tell us about that, because I'm not.
Okay.
And I assume you're not either.
No.
Okay.
The really interesting thing here is the dichotomy between what the critics are saying and what the fans seem to think. So, I mean, some of the comments are bad too. A lot of the critics, every episode, a missed opportunity here, a missed opportunity there. But people seem to fucking love it.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. I mean, I don't. Here's what's really killing people. They're seeing a character that we're used to being in one kind of show, and he's in a different kind of show.
Okay.
But he's still the same character, and it feels familiar yet different. Discovery was a hard pill for people to swallow because this was Star Trek, done in a completely different way. It's a harder, edgier, a little more adult, but a lot closer to the original than the movies were.
Is that the other streaming one?
Yeah,
with
Discovery.
The chick from
Walking Dead,
Dead?
yes.
Okay.
Picard, though, kind of throws people because there are some characters that we've seen before, and we're used to seeing them in the very saccharine, safe Star Trek The Next Generation universe, and they're not there anymore. There's some brutal bad shit that happens. There are some bad words that are said.
Really?
Oh, in the very first episode, or maybe it's the second episode. So, without ruining anything, something makes Picard want to get a ship and go investigate something. He's been retired for years. At one point, he's doing an interview. These people like the 20th anniversary of you retiring, and he had told them, "I don't want to talk about this one thing." Well, they start talking about it, and he goes off on the Federation. Basically, we saw him forging alliances with the Romulans, with Spock during unification. You don't even know it, or do you know what I'm talking about? As Star Trek: The Next Generation ended, it seemed like the Federation was making inroads with the Romulans. It'd be like us actually making friends with the Russians, but still wary of them. Big disaster happens. We see that in the movie Insurrection, and basically the Romulans all need to be evacuated from their home planets because I forget what it was, but their whole solar system is getting destroyed.
Wow.
And Picard leads the charge on that. Well, something bad happens and the Federation pulls out and basically closes up borders, and they no longer care about the rest of the universe. And he goes off on them, and they're like, "Why did you leave?" And after he explains everything to them, he's like, "Because they're not Starfleet anymore." Well, a few days later, some shit goes down. He goes back to Starfleet saying, "This is what I found out. I'd like to, just a ship. You don't have to give me a big ship, just a little thing, just a few people. I want to go investigate this." And the admiral he's talking to goes, the unmitigated fucking gall, and stands up and starts going off on him.
Wow.
It's not your mommy and daddy's, Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Interesting.
I wish I could have said that without having to tell so much story like that, because I'm sure it was boring for our listeners. But
well, no, you drew me in on it, and I fucking can't stand Star Trek.
It's good, and if you like the character, of course, Patrick Stewart is putting in a fantastic performance, full of heart and integrity, and he's not phoning this in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're already renewed for a second season, and they have plans going on, past that. So this is some of the, in my opinion, the best Star Trek ever was Deep Space Nine. The stuff we're getting now is the best stuff they've ever done, even eclipsing Deep Space Nine. And that was really good. I shouldn't say eclipsing, but Deep Space Nine was the beginning of Star Trek becoming more mature, and a lot of people liked that. But now we have the end result of that, and people are crying about it. So,
gotta love it.
Picard is excellent.
Good. And they're only a few episodes in, right?
4 episodes,
okay.
I believe.
Out of what? How many is
probably
it?
10, I think.
Okay.
8 or 10.
I'm still getting used to the whole streaming seasons.
Yeah.
That are very small.
But that's all going to get weirder too, because there's this whole thing now. CBS, Viacom, and their owners are all creating a new streaming platform that's all based off CBS Access. This all just came out this week. They're actually combining Pluto, which is a free TV service, in with a bunch of other services, and trying to make something bigger, because CBS All Access is pretty much the place that Star Trek fans are going right now. They want to make it bigger, so they're, instead of building a new platform, they're taking a bunch of other existing platforms
and
jamming them together into the same thing. Not sure how that's going to go, but that at least tells me that since they're basing it all on CBS All Access, that is successful right now, and that just means more Star Trek, because there are at least 3 Star Trek shows in development beyond Picard and Discovery.
Really?
Yes, there's 2 animated shows, and there's a 3rd live-action one with Michelle Yeoh's character from the show about Section 31, which is kind of like the CIA of Starfleet.
One of the animated shows is supposed to be a comedy, right?
Yeah, they're probably both going to be funny. One is a kid's show. The other one's called Lower Decks. And
That's the one.
Yeah, I believe one of the people that worked on Rick and Morty, I think, are working on that as well. And it's basically about the people who aren't important on the starship and what they do. So it probably will be funny. And, of course, they've already said, hey, we're listening to the fan feedback and the fact that everyone wants Anson Mount and Ethan Peck to come back and do, Captain Pike and Spock and do an early show of the early days of the Enterprise.
Oh, cool.
In season 2 of Discovery, they had Captain Christopher Pike, who we see in one episode of the original series.
And then he gets all fucked up.
Yeah, and they do the flashback stuff. But, him and Spock were together on the Enterprise before Kirk came around. Well, they did such a fucking fantastic job playing those characters and fleshing them out that the fan base is like, we want
more
an
of
early
this.
Enterprise show. Yeah, and yeah, I hope it happens. That
would be
awesome.
cool. Sorry.
That's okay. You can pick your ears when we're recording. Right. They can't see. There's no cameras, and I promise not to say anything.
You just did.
No, I didn't. You'll plead the fifth to that.
Okay.
Whatever. Moving on.
Do you want me to continue your list that you probably don't remember of?
Dude, yeah, you don't have to say it's my list. I was just trying to help out.
That's your part. It's okay. I appreciate it.
All right, what's next?
The new Batman costume. Robert Pattinson and his...
Oh. Have you seen it?
I saw pictures of it on the...
Yeah. Not just that really red thing like yesterday. Actual pictures came out.
Yeah, nope, didn't see those.
Okay, Paul's going to pull them up. Yes, I wanted to talk about the new Batman costume, and I wanted to get your opinions on it. I will go on record as saying I'm torn. I don't want to say it's bad. It definitely is a throwback. It looks very year one. I also agree that it looks a little too much. The eyes are bothering me because
they have like lenses.
Yeah, it looks too much like Daredevil's costume from the Netflix show. But I guess when I look at it, it doesn't look bad. But I'm having a hard time imagining that cutting an impressive silhouette, like that particular mask. There's light or a shadow, and the criminal sees it, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's Batman!" Because it doesn't look like it's gonna, inspire fear in the hearts of villains and
right.
And the lot. Do you have that up, Paul?
I'm working on it.
Well, for those of you who haven't seen it, just look it up. It's all over the internet. There was a video that was released with him on... They're calling it the Bat Cycle, which just looks like a motorcycle. And,
because why not,
Other than the cowl, this could almost just be like, some military armor. It's very, very low-key.
Is that the one you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Corbs?
Yeah, I don't like the whole head get up. The eyes definitely don't look like...
The eyes are weird.
Yeah.
They may be adding something in post there, and it would be really super awesome if they just made those white and expressive like the animated series. I would love that, but they won't.
The whole upper half, the upper top, the head part just doesn't...
It screams Daredevil.
The face. You're right. It screams Daredevil. It screams...
I like the fact that the bat symbol appears to be made of a gun, parts of a gun, and probably the gun that killed his parents. I think that is super, super apropos. But again, the whole thing, we're going to have to see it in action, but right now I'm not thrilled with it. But it's not the worst I've seen.
Now, do you know who wrote that story about the gun being the bat symbol?
Yeah, that was in the Detective Comics 1000, and I know who was it.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, that's right. I read that issue, and I knew it was somebody who didn't normally write a ton of comics, which was great, because in that story, he goes looking for the gun that killed his parents, finds it, melts it down, and puts it behind the bat symbol, so that
to make it the armor, basically.
That protects his heart. There was a great story. Really, DC, it takes Kevin Smith to write that story. I love Kevin Smith, but come the fuck on.
Have you read Quiver?
I have not.
That was Kevin Smith's run on Green Arrow, and it's apparently phenomenal. I've never read it.
I'm not saying he's not great, but DC has been handling this character for how many decades? And
right.
It takes Kevin Smith, who crowdfunds his latest movie, to come along and write one of the best Batman stories ever.
Mm-hmm. That's a new aspect. Speaking of Kevin Smith, we'll derail you. Have you seen Reboot yet?
I have.
What did you think?
I loved it.
Okay.
I know that it wasn't a great... I know that people out on the outside looking at it, it was not a fantastic movie, but for anyone who's a fan, it was everything we wanted.
Fan service.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%
start to
fan
finish.
service. I saw it back in October when they did the one-day release, and I bawled my eyes out in the theater.
I didn't have quite that reaction.
The end got me.
Okay.
That when he's talking about it, I'm assuming you haven't seen it.
I got no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Nope.
Okay. If you want to see it, let me know. I have it upstairs. After you return Man of Steel.
Is he a fan?
Yeah, you do.
Is he a fan of?
I don't know. Are you a Kevin Smith fan?
I like Kevin Smith. Come on now.
He's like, fuck that guy.
Then yeah, if you are, then you'll like it. I mean, it's got everything.
It does help if you rewatch a few of the movies first, just so you're reminded of some stuff.
But everything, even Dogma got pulled into that.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I'm like, wow, he really is hitting every single one of these films.
The nod to Chasing Amy was the best.
Yes.
Oh my god, that was great.
Wait, when they're both there backstage afterwards, I thought that was awesome.
And interesting side note, the little girl who was quote unquote Amy, that was Muse's daughter, Logan.
Nice.
Yeah. Muse, who's in town this weekend. Yeah.
Be here tomorrow. No.
The 24th.
Monday.
What, doing comedy?
Yeah, he's
at Funny Bone again. Yep.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I go there all the time.
Yeah. Are you going to see him?
No.
He was funny the first time he was here.
No,
His show was really good.
We saw Sam Comero.
I don't know who that is.
He was on America's Got Talent. He finished second on America's Got Talent.
So he was the first loser?
Pretty much.
Okay.
But he's fucking hysterical. He's got Tourette's. Not the verbal Tourette's where he's swearing all the time.
Tics,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he's like my daughter.
And he incorporates it into his show.
No, you're good.
So
I was thinking.
But yeah, so we've been there a couple of times. We've seen a couple of different comedians there. It's pretty nice. So
I've been there a few times. The last time was when I went and saw. Interesting. Is it doing it again? Oh, that's a double.
That's a double.
That's a double shot right there. Holy fuck, that is a dark beer. Hugh is pouring out the third. I was going to say and final beer of this, but we'll fucking see what happens.
I love the way that looks. I am so excited for
I can
this.
smell that from here. What is that? That says espresso on. Oh, I'm stepping all over his shit. Sorry.
It's okay. This is KBS Espresso. Now, KBS is Founder's Kentucky Breakfast Style, which
we tried.
Yeah, and we've talked about earlier.
Yes.
This is their first flavored variant of this. This is a new
Exactly.
beer. They did not have it that night, and I've been looking for it. It's an espresso. I don't want to say flavored because that's really not fair. Because when we talk about beer and flavors, people think of like Boone's Farm or like Bud Light Orange or some bullshit that's got.
I haven't fucking thought about Boone's in fucking decades.
Yeah, this is when they say flavored, they mean they put actual coffee beans in the shit. Okay,
Interesting.
That's a little different.
Great, I'm gonna be up all fucking night now.
You're on Xbox though, right?
PlayStation.
You do have a PlayStation.
My PS4, yeah. I'm gonna go home and fucking lay my ass down in bed, but I'm gonna be like all night long. I gotta get up early. I gotta help my girlfriend move a couch tomorrow.
If coffee really affects you that badly, you probably shouldn't be drinking beer tonight. Just saying.
Well, coffee doesn't affect me that bad, but if I drink it at 11 o'clock at night, 10:30 or whatever the fuck time it is,
all right,
it may keep me up for a little while.
So this is one of the barrel age series. Ale brewed with chocolate and coffee aged in oak bourbon barrels, and we go to the back. KBS gets its coffee fix in the very first variant to come from our beloved bourbon barrel aged stout. Yes, KBS may already be brewed with coffee, but it gets some extra oomph when it's aged on espresso beans after being removed from barrels. The result is a fresh and snappy coffee twist on our classic barrel aged beer. Who says you can't start your day with a barrel aged stout? Now, I am looking forward to this because KBS is one of the best beers I've ever had. And I'm just thinking this is going to be so chocolatey and coffee and delicious. But I'm going to let you guys go first because I want to savor the moment.
Cheers, motherfucker.
All right. Paul brings the glass to his mouth. Nobody's having a bad reaction yet. Corbs looks quizzical at the drink. He's not sure. Too much?
No. It takes a second, but you do get the coffee flavor to it.
Coffee flavored coffee.
It's almost like you're drinking after it's like straight like black coffee. No, because when I drink my coffee, I cream and sugar in my coffee. But this, you can just taste the actual coffee flavor in it at the end.
You get the chocolate too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy fuck, that's delicious. And it doesn't have the the boozy hit that the new KBS does. The coffee must mellow it out. By the way, this is, how much is this? I usually.
Oh, that's good.
This is 12% alcohol.
He's trying to get us fucked up.
Seriously.
And I'm okay with it. Although, do you remember what happened the last time we
Yeah, you got in a fight.
nearly pretty damn close. Yeah, fuck that guy. I still gotta go see him. Because I told you the next day I went out there and stood at the end of the driveway, right? He wouldn't even come out of the house. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. And I'm glad that I could share it with you guys.
It is good. I'm not typically a coffee anything guy, and I like this. So
This is a beer that'll warm you up on a cold winter day. After you get done snowballing the driveway or whatever. I mean, sit down with one of these, turn on the TV. You still get that warmness, the boozy warmness, but everything else is still fresh about it.
do you snowblow? I actually shovel.
Yeah, I
'Cause
snowblow.
I'm fucking cheap.
Well, so am I. It's my neighbor's snowblower.
Ooh, even better.
You don't know that I have that deal set up?
No.
Okay, the lady next door was a close friend of my mother-in-law who we bought the house from.
Yes.
And
that part I knew.
yeah, and basically she buys the lawnmower and maintains it, buys the snowblower and maintains. What the fuck was that?
Seriously.
I turned my glass.
Oh.
Sorry. What do we call that? If it was a double, the way you slammed it down. What is? Just kill the bottle at this point. You're done.
I mean, that was a coaster fart, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Anyway, no, she buys and maintains the equipment. I run it. I handle mowing the lawn.
Is she an older lady?
Yeah, I mean, she probably could still do it. She's actually in really good shape. Like, her and my mother-in-law are, like, the same age. And my mother-in-law is like, oh, my God, I don't know if I can get up the steps. And she's like, hey, I'm going to go do this and run around and stuff. She probably could handle it, but, I mean, she doesn't want to.
It's the deal.
Right?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fine. That works.
Yeah, that works for me.
That works very well. Last thing on the hit list before we go into our ad. Dan DiDio.
And, wow, that actually changed a lot today.
Did it?
Yes, it did.
See, I haven't followed up from today.
Alright.
I saw that This Week in Geek had a post that tagged him in it, wishing him well. And,
Well, there's a lot more going on, and I'm going to be straight on where some of this comes from.
Okay.
So first of all, Dan Dido has not quit.
is that
apparently.
it? Dido?
I
thought
don't
it was
Dido, Dido.
I don't.
Dido, Dido.
Dan.
It's Dido. It can't
Yeah.
be Dido or anything. It's Dido or Dido.
I don't know. Wasn't
Or
that
Didi. It could be Didi.
I don't know. All I know is I'm friends with him on Facebook. Have you seen his wife?
No.
God damn. Yeah.
Anyway,
Hi, Jack.
so he was one of the publishers for DC. He was one of the bigwigs.
Big
Now,
face for DC.
Yeah, and they've lost quite a few of those in recent years. Jeff Johns has left, and Dido he didn't quit. He was fired.
Okay. See, that's what I thought was the deal
He
on
was
that.
fired for creating an unproductive work environment, and no one's entirely sure what that all comes from. What they do know is he's known for he'll micromanage some projects and then stay so far away from other projects that no one knows what's going on. But we think, the collective we being the people who don't know, this may have a lot to do with 5G, and you know what 5G is, right? You don't
Their
know
new thing
5G?
that's coming out.
Yes. Do you know what it is?
Is it a restructuring of their DC history again?
Possibly the worst ill-conceived idea they've ever had from the company that's already rebooted their timeline 4 times in the last 30 years. And I counted that. Crisis, Flashpoint, New 52, and Rebirth could be another one, but they're kind of the same. And then from Flashpoint again, kinda, with the Watchmen series. So that's at least 4 times, maybe 5, depending on how you count.
And you're saying in the last 30 years, but hasn't all that been in the last decade?
Well, no, Crisis happened in the 80s.
No, Crisis. Yeah, other than
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
everything since
No, some of that
New
has,
52,
some of
or
that has
Flashpoint,
to-
I mean.
Some of that has to be after 2000. Some of it has to be. Maybe not, but
it
maybe
definitely
Don't
is.
look at
You're
me.
right. It definitely
Yeah.
is.
You're looking at me like I'm supposed to know. Don't fucking look
Just
at
say
me.
yes. It's comics.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm good at that, aren't I? So the idea behind 5G is that after they've taken all this time and de-aged their characters, so we now have a younger Bruce Wayne. He's only been Batman for about 5 years, but everything still happened to him. It's just the timeline's
It's all compressed.
They
That motherfucker had a really bad year, is what it is. Yeah.
every year. They basically they were trying to make it so that, when New 52 came out, Batman was still kind of unknown. They add some mystery. And
He
all
was
that.
he was a
urban legend.
urban legend. I was getting there.
Okay. Sorry. So they've kind of compressed their timeline quite a bit over the past few years.
A lot. Because, like, again, within that same 5 years, like, that was Superman's debut. Right?
Yeah,
like,
there was everything.
we saw Justice League build, like, as that happened. Supposedly.
Exactly. So they've now decided that they are going to return to their original continuity, which I don't know how that affects things that were introduced in this continuity.
Like
Okay.
Court of Owls?
Yes. They are also going to age up the characters, which means if something happened to Batman in the 70s, it actually happened in the 70s.
How the fuck is that going to work?
So he is going to be as old as he would now. First of all, what does that do for characters like Damian Wayne, his son, who's 14, 15? He's now going to be in his late 20s, at least, maybe older, depending how they do if they do this. But the idea is that they're aging the heroes so that younger heroes can take over. Batman is going to be taken over by a younger black man, and all the other heroes are going to be replaced by younger versions. Yeah, yes. This is insane. Okay, as if you did it like a Marvel's Ultimate Line style side project, I would be all over that. I would love to see it.
Wasn't that the point of Earth 1?
Yeah.
Which were phenomenal, by the way. Did you read any of those?
I did.
I read Superman and Batman. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I read. So they're making huge changes here. Okay, now here's where it gets scarier. I don't know if Dido was against this or for this, but it seems people say that he has always been I don't care what the editorial mandate is. I'm all about making the comics. So that I'm assuming that he was for it because the powers that be that write his paycheck said this is what we're doing, and a lot of the writers and people involved are completely against this, and that must have created a lot of friction. So he was let go. Now, there is one bit of information that comes from a source that we don't really like, Cosmic Book News, but they report it. I didn't go looking for them. It popped up in my Google feed, and it wasn't until after I read it that I saw who it was from. So this is kind of a take it with a grain of salt.
This could also be very fake, because there's whole memes about them now. But go ahead.
But according to them, Ethan Van Scriber has gone on record as saying
no, that's a real thing.
Oh, so
I saw him fucking going nuts.
Okay, then this is the thing. So AT&T owns DC Comics now, after the whole Time Warner merger and all that. AT&T has said that if 5G fails, DC Comics is done. They're shuttering the comic book company.
I don't buy that.
Well, here's the thing.
No,
I do, because Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman will all continue to exist in the movies that make them billions of dollars. They don't give a shit. They don't care about this little magazine company that's losing money on a regular basis or just breaking even. And I totally could see them doing that because the characters are what they bought, not the actual publishing business.
Okay, true. And they can always mine everything that's come before. Because that was going to be my first knee-jerk reaction is where you're getting your stories for the movies then. But they have, 80 years?
Yeah.
They could.
I mean, considering they keep telling the same damn story over again every 3 movies anyway, what difference does it make?
By the way, since we last recorded, I finally saw Shazam.
Oh.
Movie was fucking delightful.
It was.
Loved that movie. Have you seen it?
No, I've not seen it.
Am I going to send you home with a stack of DVDs that I won't see for 6 years?
Probably.
You'll never see him again.
Right. I actually contemplated rebuying Man of Steel.
That's probably a better bet for you.
You know what?
That's his way of saying I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea where that is.
I got no fucking clue. So
you know
the
what,
people
man?
that live in my old apartment have it now.
No. I made sure I pick all the DVDs, but it's probably in my room. But
I pawned that shit 3 years ago, man.
No. I'm not that big of a dick. I wouldn't pawn your shit, but I may have just gave it away.
Traded it for some Big League Chew.
I'm pretty sure I could probably get it for like $3.99 at Walmart anyway.
I might have traded it for some Coke or something. But
You wouldn't have got much for that movie.
No. Get one bump, maybe.
But yeah, that's scary to contemplate a world where there are no longer Batman and Superman comic books.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That is fucked up.
And what happens, this is going to be a cascade effect. Disney, looking at Marvel, which seems to be doing well right now, what if they're like, yeah, we don't need to do this either. We got the movie and TV rights. How does that affect the indies? You're going to have an influx of good writers and artists and people who have worked in the industry.
Way too many people in the industry without jobs.
Exactly. This is scary.
I'll tell you what. That means I need to rethink the format for This Week in Geek.
Why?
Well, man, fucking 50% of that show is comics.
Well, you're going to have to start looking at indies, which are still putting out
Which we
great
do.
stuff.
We talk indies. You have to guest on that one of these weeks, by the way. So that means you need a Tuesday night off. I mean, I don't want you to take your
Yeah, I'm
off of
totally
your
not
work.
taking a Tuesday night
Fuck
off. It's
no.
not happening.
No, we can slide times if we need to.
Okay.
Something we probably shouldn't be discussing on air. But
Yeah, I don't want to talk about our slide time, Paul. That's private.
Wow.
that's usually out of time. Out of town. Yeah. Can I do a little
Can I?
Biddy,
Let him
spit it out,
talk.
big boy.
He can't.
I'm not as bad as the last episode.
Not yet.
Right.
Still early.
We haven't even taken a break yet. Hold on. Lost it.
You got nothing.
Completely lost it.
Lost?
Like I lost it.
Can't find it.
No, it's there. It's about an inch
That
long.
just reminded me that I'm currently near the end of a complete season or series rewatch of Lost.
Really? I've never seen that show.
Well, I've never watched it past season 2.
I've never seen it either.
Is that where it went to shit? Was season
Actually,
two?
you know what? I'm fine with it. I mean, it gets a little weird, but I mean, when the guys are making it up as they go along, it's going to get weird. But here's the thing: it's still good. By then, you're invested in the characters, so I don't care. I wanted a TV show to watch, and I go, I decide on Lost, and I go to my wife. I'm like, listen, you should watch this. She's like, every time I say, hey, here's this great show, and if we're not watching it together, she never watches it. Doesn't care. I'm like, listen, you really need to watch this show. I'm like, on the basis of our marriage, I've never steered you wrong. You're going to like this show, okay? We're like neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
We watch it separately, because we both have different off times.
Yeah, because your schedules are different
Yeah,
now.
our schedules are staggered.
How's it working out for her? Was that cool? Again, this is probably not.
Well, I mean, it worked.
Thing.
It worked fine before when the schedules were the other way.
No, I meant the new position.
Oh, her being a team lead, yeah. I mean, it's great.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
We
Bless me.
Again, I've said it many times, and if anyone from work listens, we love the company we work for, and I mean, it's fantastic that she's one of the bosses now, and I understand why we had to flip schedules because I was on the night team and they made her the night team lead, and I mean, they said I could have stayed on the night team and I just report to the day team boss, but then our kid has to cook dinner for herself, so
I mean, who doesn't love chicken nugs?
she's 8.
Like I said, who doesn't love chicken nugs?
She's
Mac and
8 with
cheese.
Tourette's and ADD.
So the chicken nugs end up all over the room?
I know, it's like, hey, where's Chicky Nugs? Here's my cat. All of a sudden, we get up later, the cat's in the freezer, there's nuggets in shoes.
Okay, you know what? You just sold me on a fucking reality show.
I totally had an idea for that. Yesterday, actually, we're driving in the car, and I said, I can see the opening for not a reality show, but a comedy called Everybody Loves Reevie, because that's what we call Avery. We call her Reevie, and it would be, the 80s music, the little people showing up and smiling, and the names showing up, and of course, because she has Tourette's, she repeats a lot of words, and there's one word she repeats a lot, and it would go through the whole thing. At the end, it would say Everybody Loves Reevie, and she'd pop up the screen and go booty booty but booty. And that would because that's the word she likes to say all the time.
All right.
Paul's gonna.
I don't want to step all over that because that's fucking awesome. And as you saw, I wrote that down, and that's probably the title of this episode.
Booty booty but booty, or
everyone loves Reevie.
All right,
I love
all
it.
Right.
Go back and check this if you're listening to it because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the episode title.
Now, you and your wife work from home, correct?
Correct.
Your wife.
Nice.
How is you and your wife? No, that is correct.
Your wife.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Correct grammar.
Your wife and you are...
No, you were right the first time.
Yeah,
Don't
it was-
second guess yourself.
It would be if I said it. I would have to say my wife and I.
Right.
But most people say my wife and me. Because
I'm so
went to
used
ABW.
to correcting.
Jesus Christ, stop.
I'm so used to correcting.
Just stop.
I mean, if I would have stopped while I'm so used, that's also correct.
Just stop.
Do we need to take a break?
No, I'm not even drunk yet.
I wasn't talking about that, so you could do the ad thing.
No. You know what? He'll wait. He's not paying us anyway.
But you're going to grab it and start
I'm getting
doing
it to get it prepared.
Jesus Christ.
I really wish you could remember what the hell you were talking about before Corbs interrupted you.
I already forgot about Corbs interrupting me, so...
Sorry, I just like to interrupt people, but that's just how I fucking roll. So.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the dangers of fucking CTE.
CTE?
What the fuck is CTE?
You, being a sports guy, should know.
Oh, that's, whatchamacallit?
Concussion.
That's it. It's
whatever the TE is.
Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember that. There's a movie about a concussion with Will Smith.
The sad part is that's not a joke.
Chronic traumatic.
I don't even know what it all means, but
Yeah,
I know
Did
it.
you forget shit?
It's
forget
from
shit,
repeated
yeah.
blows to the head, like
Then
concussions.
what's my excuse?
I don't know. We've had that discussion before, but now that I open up this can of worms, like this is serious.
But you've taken too many blows to the head?
Yeah, like I've had multiple concussions in my time.
Talk to Kristen about that.
Yeah, we have, and trust me, it's actually a source of contention.
Do you have like that cuneiform encephalitis?
I thought you were talking
What?
about...
No one's touched me there.
No, cuneiform. Isn't that what Chris Benoit had from all the concussions?
Oh no,
he's talking. That's Chris Benoit at CTE also.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a different part, but no,
Dude, you better not do that.
Dude, seriously,
right?
If you murder your family,
You'll be mad at me.
I'm mad at you.
Hey, thanks.
I'll go on TV and be like, he was a nice guy. Kept quiet. He kept to himself.
But that's not true either. You guys all know that. Like, I don't. Like, I'm the guy that flips fucking tables over and shit anyway. So it's like, yeah, we kind of saw it coming. But no, ever since I had my last one 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago now.
Last blowjob?
Concussion. No, that's... Chris doesn't want me to divulge that information. Just let's say that. No.
Oh, your last concussion?
Yeah.
How many? Okay.
How many have I had?
Well, okay. Here's the question I'm going to put out to you. So, you and I are close to the same age. I'm 44. You're
42.
42.
Not
so
that
we're
close.
No, that really is close, Paul.
Seriously,
you're getting
fucker.
old.
Seriously, what the fuck?
You old fucker.
I am an old fucker.
And you're in the middle, aren't you? I'm 42. You're 43.
Yeah. Okay. So
44
we're all
in
close.
December.
But
I'll be 43
You
this
played
year.
football in high school.
Yes.
Okay.
For a little while. There's a story there too.
Okay. We don't. But you played modified all the way.
No. I started in high school. Was asked to leave the team.
Were you blowing too many guys?
Dude, that was the 90s. You can't talk about that.
Don't ask, don't tell.
No, I was very... It was the same time my parents were going through the divorce and everything, so I was very rebellious. I was a dick. Big surprise, right?
What's changed?
Right, I got older, that's all, and fatter.
He's now an old dick. An old fat dick.
Yes. No, I was a shithead, is what it was.
How many years did you play?
Actually, it was just junior year, senior year.
Okay.
But it was extracurriculars.
Well,
I was heavy into skateboarding, doing dumb shit like that. We were Jackass before Jackass was Jackass.
All right. Well, okay.
So
that's what everybody says. Okay.
I did some of the same shit. I mean,
I have the brain bruises to prove it.
All right.
So you played junior and senior year.
Yes.
Offensive line.
Yep.
Okay. So
big surprise, right?
Right. Yeah.
Not center then.
But
Hugh is completely tuned out at this point. He's just waiting for the head
you have a
injuries.
point you're trying to make, and Corbs keeps asking you questions, and you're not getting to it. So I'm waiting for you to get to. Not that you
I'm just
should.
telling you.
No.
He's establishing my story.
Yeah, it's like okay.
I'm trying to figure out because
Hugh's like, just get through the sports thing and explain it. What the fuck?
Well, what I'm getting at is from the movie, you find out that
wait, they did a movie about me and I didn't know.
Yeah, it's called Jackass.
1 through 4.
But
Toxic Avengers, more likely. That's just saying.
The movie Concussion, it proves that guys who play an offensive line. Now, Paul and I both played in the offensive line.
You were O-line too?
Yeah, of course it was. My brother played offensive line, so you fall into that fucking category. Yeah, we're way off topic now.
Yeah, that one's his fault though.
Yeah, sorry.
So, but it shows that on every play you're butting heads.
Literally, almost.
Right, literally butting heads, and it shows that.
He says literally. By the way, say it again.
Stop it.
Literally.
Say it. No, say it right.
Fuck off.
Stop it.
Fuck
Paul,
you.
shut up.
So it shows that because you've done that repeated brain injury over and over every single play, it gets into the thousands and 10,000s of traumatic brain injuries over the course of time. So what I'm trying to figure out is if you played through Pop Warner.
No. Yeah. No.
Right. No. But like Pop Warner, JV, modified JV, high school, and
right.
continued on
as you keep going.
So what they're talking about is these guys that have played from JV all the way through the pros. it's like being in a car accident on every single play.
And over and over.
That's why these guys like Webster took his own life because
Webster.
Yeah, Mike Webster, the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sorry, I wasn't.
That was the basis of the movie. Mm-hmm. He was the guy that ended up killing himself because he heard voices and stuff because it was like being in a violent, and not even talking like a car accident. Like I was in a car accident last summer, and yeah, it sucked.
That's why you wouldn't drink with us.
When I was at your party, I wouldn't drink because I.
Oh, that's right. You couldn't come. You were celebrating your anniversary.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I hugged the steering wheel and bruised 6 ribs.
Eventually he'll learn how to drive.
Wait, you got in an accident, deliberately hugged the steering wheel?
No,
you didn't get a choice. Yeah.
I didn't have a choice. The guy laid behind me hit me at 35 miles an hour.
Because I wasn't sure if maybe you were like, oh shit, an accident. You hugged the steering wheel to protect yourself or something.
No.
Screams like a girl and just grabs the steering wheel.
I did scream like a girl, but that's besides the point.
That was after you hit them.
I got rear-ended, so I got in the rear. I mean, sorry.
He took it in the rear.
So, but what I was trying to figure out is how long he'd been playing.
Okay.
To establish the CTE.
Why do I feel like I'm at trial?
So where were you going with that then? Now that he's established.
Almost I threw out his thing basically because I only started junior year.
Right. Well, I mean, but you played 2 years, but now you're back playing again.
Yeah, I'm playing again, and in between that, I was skateboarding, snowboarding. Snowboarding, the same junior year, was my first super serious one. I hit a ramp, flipped, didn't know how to land it, and came down the back of my head. That I hit so hard that I blackened my eyes and didn't know my own name for 3 days. And didn't go to a hospital.
So what's changed?
I know my name.
Besides the black eyes.
I know my name now. So.
Wait. You mean you know you're Paul now?
Right.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, I've only
back then he was Paula.
Right.
I've only had one concussion that I know of. I mean, I've hit my head a lot, and maybe I have some bruising, but I mean, the one verified concussion I had sucked.
Yeah. Like Paul and I were figuring out. I've had concussions that were never back in the 90s. They didn't report.
You don't do anything about it. Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, the one I had, I mean, I had to. I was, years ago, when I was still with my first wife, and it was nighttime, it was winter, our steps were like, it was a covered, like, landing stoop, I guess you call it, and we had a tile there and steps down, and the dog wanted to go out. So I took the dog out, but we didn't have a run or anything, so I had just a leash. I was taking her out front so that she can go potty. As we're going back up, after she's done, I'm like, hey, you gonna go up the steps? And for whatever reason, she didn't run. And then she decided to dart up the steps, and I went...
Off your feet right now.
Well, what happened was I had gone up the first 2 steps. I went, came down, and right on the side of my head. Now, this will explain partially maybe why, I'm no longer married to that woman. Not that I'm saying anything bad about her. Please don't take me to court. But
again.
But about 30 minutes later, she comes out because she's like, I thought you were out there a little too long. And usually the dog going potty is like 5 minutes.
Right.
I was
45.
I mean, I came down from probably a 2 feet off, plus my height down, concrete side of my head.
Ooh.
That whole night was fucking weird. I mean, I was just, you know what it's like, where you feel like your head's too big, but you feel small, and you don't really know what's going on. I'm like, fucking, I'm going to work the next day, and got through like half my day, and then had her come get me and went to the doctor, and it was bad.
No vomiting? Because when it's severe, usually you throw up.
Yeah, vomiting's...
No, I think I did. But it didn't happen until the next day. Maybe I'm wrong on some of the details, because honestly, for the next couple days, I was kind of out of it.
Right.
But, I mean, before that, I had hit my head plenty of times before and didn't realize how bad a concussion really was, because clearly I hadn't ever hurt myself quite that bad. Yeah, it was awful.
Yeah, they're bad. They're fucking...
I don't know if you have it, some symptoms to it, but I went to the go-kart place at the mall a couple years ago with my father. Mm-hmm. And you get in the thing and they put the freaking helmet on you and stuff like that, and it was just me and my dad around the track, just him and I driving around the track, and we're racing, but your head starts bouncing around. I don't know if you've been on the... I haven't
been there.
Okay. No. So you get in the thing and it's just like being in a race car. Mm-hmm. You're in a...
That would have been
bad.
Dude, I would have reached out and caught that shit.
Oh, you almost
I almost knocked it over. So like my head was bouncing around on the go-karts. Like you're whipping around the track or whatever. I got done, dude. I was so fucked up that I couldn't. Like, I had a hard time driving, and I had to drive my father home.
God damn.
And then drive myself home. I got to drive my dad, dropped him off, and then I had to drive home. I got home. I had to pick my kid up at about 3.5 hours later. I literally laid down in my bed, closed the curtains in my room. I made it pitch black in my room and passed the fuck out for 2.5 hours.
Wow.
And I still got up, and I was still messed up. And I had no idea what was going on. And only after I saw that movie that I realized what was going on.
Yeah.
I've got to see this. I haven't seen that movie.
It's not bad. It's tough to watch because of the way they portrayed him. And I mean, it's a movie that came out 5 years ago, so I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. But it's tough to watch. Like, I watched it, and I was like, wow. The shit that these people have to go through, and we're talking people, I'm talking NFL players have to go through now, well, then, to get the medical care that they need.
Right. Shit's changed now.
Oh, it's changed, but you still got the guys that are the older guys that are having an issue getting health insurance.
Yeah, being left behind.
Yeah, it's tough, and it's tough to watch. Mm-hmm. So, but
and doctors don't help.
No, and this guy put his neck out there. Like his Ben, I can't remember what the fuck his last name is. It starts with an O, but he put his neck out there. He did. The guy from the Steelers hit their team physician. Basically, kind of backed him up and said, "Yeah, this is what's going on. These guys." I mean, this is the whole issue. This is what's going on. It's this problem right here. And nobody knew about it until he did, like, the doctor, Ben, and I can't remember his last name, and I apologize. He actually took samples of Mike Webster's brain. And, you know, you look at the brain when it first happens, and you can't see it. He had to cut through 10 or 15 layers of his brain to find this problem. And the moment he saw it, he goes, this is a problem. Mm-hmm. And he started testing, and he found other people that were willing to, other players that had committed suicide. And a lot of these players would commit suicide, and nobody knew why. Like Mike Webster committed suicide.
Junior Seau
committed same thing. He committed suicide.
He purposely shot himself
in the chest so that you could. And that's what these players were doing. Dave Duerson, he's a guy that played for I think it was the Eagles. He had the same thing, and he purposely shot himself in the chest. So they could examine his brain. That's what these guys are doing. And now the guys are willingly, when they pass away, giving up their brains to science. So you got guys from NFL, NHL, which are the two biggest sports for concussions. Even wrestlers are doing it. Mm-hmm.
Isn't one of the wrestlers who is one of those tough enough competitors?
Yeah, it's Chris. It starts with an N, and it's
Chris Nowinski.
Something like that.
Yeah, he was in this movie. I've heard about
this
movie. He's
one
of the people pushing for these studies.
Right, and he was wrestling and had to retire because of concussions. And he's a Harvard graduate.
Yep.
And he decided once he retired, he's like, "This is what I want. When I'm done, when I pass away, I want you to examine my brain to find out if I have this disease." So he was one of the very first ones to do it and say, I want my brain, when I die of natural causes or whatever it might be, I want you to examine my brain to find out if I have this. Okay. So a lot of these guys and stuff are you looking up his name?
I'm looking him up. Keep going.
No, I'm pretty sure I was right about that. Chris Nowinski.
Yeah, it is.
No, you're right. I'm just trying to refresh myself on who he is.
Yeah,
he won Tough Enough, and then he was in the WWE for a few years.
Yeah, it was only a year or two.
He was one of the ones, Letterman jacket.
Yes, yep, you're right, yep.
We got him now. Very charismatic guy. He should have had an amazing career.
He should have, but
That's him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when he was on Tough Enough, real clean cut, short hair. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
big dude.
Yeah.
Big kid.
Yeah, but there's a lot of these players, and now you're getting guys from the NBA, or even Major League Baseball has gotten in on it. A lot of these sports that maybe don't have as much concussion protocol in it are still donating. And I think even now women are getting involved in it. That I've seen, like women from the national soccer team and stuff like that, have gotten involved in giving. They're saying that when I pass away, you're free to examine my brain and stuff like that. So it's an ongoing issue, and it's nice to see these people are starting to realize that there's an issue and that we need to figure out what's going on. And I like that the fact that the NFL nowadays, I don't know if you watch football at all.
No,
I know
not if I can help it.
Well, and I know you watch some of it. You watch, you're a Raiders fan, which I apologize. Well, I should say the Las Vegas Raiders, but
I know, right?
But I mean, if you watch the games and you're like me, you watch. You don't watch maybe all the time. You're not watching like a full game here or there. Maybe if the Raiders are on or something, you may catch a quarter.
No, but I try to throw on at least every Thursday because that's the excuse for Drewski and I to get together.
Right.
But I'll usually when I come home from football, I'll shower and get less stinky, and then I will throw the games on.
Right, and just watch it. But
yeah.
Nowadays, from when you and I were playing, you get a concussion, you never reported it. These guys,
shake it off, keep playing.
Yeah, just keep playing. Nowadays, a guy gets hit real hard, they immediately take him out of the game, and they put him in that blue tent, and they test him, and if he's fine, can go back out and play. If not, you're done.
Wow. Well, that's good though.
Right, it's very good, and we're not talking about offensive linemen. We're talking the quarterback, anybody
on the field.
Yeah, but
there's a spotter.
Somebody they pay someone to watch for that to see.
Yeah, there's a guy in the stand up in the box or whatever. He's watching the game. That guy got hit too hard.
Go check him out.
Go check him out.
Nice.
If he's slow getting up, he needs to be pulled out and checked.
It's good that they're doing this, but I have a feeling that while they're still playing a game that involves banging your head against shit, it's still there's never going to be a solution.
There's not, and that's the issue. But they're taking steps to prevent the severe concussion.
Yeah.
The concussion, like you were talking about, 2 days later you're still not remember. 2 days later you can't remember your name. Stuff like that. They're trying to avoid that because guys like Troy Aikman and these guys that have killed themselves because of the CTE.
Troy Aikman killed himself?
No.
I was going to say.
Troy Aikman he is very adamant about the fact that he's had a ton of concussions in his day, and he will be on a broadcast and he will kind of forget a few things.
Yeah. And
he'll take a second. You'll hear they were talking, and he'll pause, and then all of a sudden he starts back up again. It's almost like he's trying to get the words back into
Reboot.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the other person that has been they've noticed a little bit more is Terry Bradshaw.
Yes.
When he's doing the Fox NFL Sundays,
it gets uncomfortable.
It does.
It does.
He sometimes he'll just go off on a tangent about,
and everyone else is just kind of like looking around like,
yeah, like nothing about football, like soda. In the middle of a football conversation, he'll just start going off on something completely different, and they're like, okay, and this is the highlight for this game. So now we're talking Bradshaw played in the 70s and 80s when they didn't. So these guys, these older players and stuff are the ones that they're trying to figure out how to help, and it's nice to see that they're actually doing stuff like that.
Right, yeah, they need to do something.
Right, so.
Because even in my experience, I mean, the last one that happened when playing this flag football league, I went head-to-head with the guy, literally. He basically headbutted me in the temple. I didn't even come off the field. Kept going. The only reason I realized something was wrong was when I got home and I was caring for the kids, and I took chicken nuggets out of the oven barehanded.
Oh, yeah, I do remember you saying that. I remember you were talking about that.
And that's when I realized there was something wrong.
Yeah.
But I also put off going to the doctors, and the doctor told me I got my quote-unquote bell rung and I'm fine. I was on the field that same week.
All right.
I think this is a good time to go to commercial break, and we will be back in a minute.
After Dark Entertainment presents Salt City Horror Fest 2020, Saturday, April 18th, 2020 at the Palace Theater, Syracuse, New York. First film at 10 a.m. These are the movies that are going to be featured, all screened on 35mm print. Carrie, American Psycho, Darkman, The Road Warrior, Mad Max 2, Audition, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the 1931 edition screened in the original aspect ratio, Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, Deranged, and Pieces, a thrilling reel of 2 vintage 35mm trailers. Horror vendors will be there. There will be food trucks, and the Palace Bar and concessions will be available to patrons throughout the day. Get your tickets at www.saltcityhorrorfest.com. The ticket prices are for just general admission $30. VIP tickets are $55. VIP includes all of these special perks. 1 general admission ticket, early pick your seat entry into the event at 10 a.m. Catered dinner on site from Scratch Farmhouse Catering during the dinner break. 1 Salt City Horror Fest 2020 t-shirt sizes small through 3XL available. 1 VIP laminate, access to the VIP only special raffle, and an 18 by 24 poster from a previous SCHF event, Night of the Living Dead, Chud, or Freddy Fest. General admission with commemorative t-shirt, $45. Add-on purchases available, Salt City Horror t-shirt, $20. Chud 18 by 24 poster, $5. Night of the Living Dead 18 by 24 poster, $5. A lot of time here. Do you need to grab more beer?
No, I'm good, and we're already recording. I just...
You know, you're going to wish you had edited this out later. Okay, folks, so we are back. Paul has the hiccups, and Corbs has been talking about butt stuff. It's been a very interesting break.
But in Sabak.
What? Yeah, in Sabak, yeah. So, Paul, do you think we should roll right into the news?
Actually, that's what's on the paperwork here.
Well, damn, it's a good
Have
thing
we
I
been
know
following the paperwork?
For the most part?
No, we haven't.
No, really, for the most part.
Yeah, we really have.
We still need to circle back to the Magic the Gathering cartoon, by the way, because I'm curious about that.
I have no details on that.
Oh, well, fuck that noise then. Let's keep going.
All right, so let's go on to the news. First up, Augustus Bowell once said, must all...
Who?
Augustus Bowell, not Bowell. Can I continue?
Please.
How old are you?
I mean, it was.
I said Bowell. Come on, dude.
All right, butt stuff.
Okay. So
You got excited.
Augustus Bowell once said, "We must all do theater to find out who we are and discover if we can be Batman." He really didn't say that. What he actually said is to find out if we can be who we are, or something along this, some important thing. But the point of this is the 2018 Japanese animated film Batman Ninja is being adapted as a stage play at Tokyo's Theatre Moliere Shinjuku. It will run from October 10th to December 31st, 2020, and I am not sure Batman is a good choice for the stage.
I agree.
Sketchy. I'm imagining Aaron Batarangs cutting ropes and dropping sandbags on people's heads, but I mean, that's just me.
I will buy that DVD.
I don't know if it's a theater show, dude. I
know, but they fucking record the shit all the time.
Well, yeah, in New York. This is in Japan. I mean, and I'm guessing this isn't the biggest theater in Japan, because the biggest theater in Japan wouldn't be doing fucking Batman. Anyway, moving on. Not a tiger I want to catch by the tail. Do you remember the 90s and the Tiger electronic LCD handhelds? Do you remember those? Okay.
They were horrible.
Take a good game, pare it down to 1 or 2 moves for infinity. You know, it's like, hey, punch and kick and hit the same guy forever. They were Game Boys for poor kids, basically. I had Double Dragon.
Me too.
If you want to spend $14.99, twice what it would actually get the real game on like a virtual console or on the PSN or something like that, they are exclusively available at GameStop. And who fucking asked for this?
I'm just saying, if they do Mandalorian, I'm buying it for the kids to shut them up.
No, they're doing the actual old games.
Oh, really?
I think maybe they're going to do some new
black
ones.
and white, like horrible LCD.
Yes, like one of the 3 they're releasing is Little Mermaid. I mean, these are the original games. They're re-releasing the original shitty games.
Yeah, pass.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. And this is going to be a short news segment because it's been a very long show. Finally, I don't care what you think. Christopher Gans announces that there is a new Silent Hill movie in production. He is working on Silent Hill 3. Now, for those of you who are not...
Wait, there were 2 of them?
There were 2 of them. The original Silent Hill, which is on my top 3 movies of all time. That is on my Desert Island movies, and a lot of the internet thinks I'm stupid. In fact...
Did they tell you that?
They actually did. I recently went on OmniChan, and there was a top 3 movies thread. My top 3 movies were Silent Hill...
Wait, are they all horror? Like,
no, it was...
They have to be horror, you could do whatever you wanted.
It was your favorite movies, period.
I'm just making sure. Go ahead.
Okay. It was Silent Hill, Night of the Living Dead, and The Meaning of Life by Monty Python.
2 out of 3 aren't bad on that.
The response to that was...
Kill yourself?
This is a faggot who lives in his mom's basement and fucks himself with a big black dildo.
Do please get screen captures of that?
No, yeah, on 4chan, things disappear after you hit like 200.
It's kind of like Snapchat?
Basically, yeah. So
That's
it's gone forever, but I laughed so hard. It was so funny.
Wow.
But
that's some vitriol.
I digress. Yeah, the whole thing is, I mean, dude, that's how I know exactly what the racists and shit are doing, because I actually go to the place where they all sit there and talk, and I read the shit.
Can we go fuck with them?
I'm going to tell you this, okay?
I shouldn't go there, should I?
No, we could, but if we fuck with 4chan, it might fuck back. You talk about incels, this is where they're born.
That's where the incels are.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to what I was actually talking about. So yes, there were there were 2 Silent Hill movies. The original one was done by Christopher Gans, and I think it is brilliant. People complain that, well, it digresses from the games, but I mean, how do you make a movie about running away from shit and puzzles? You have to add some stuff, okay? When I watch that movie, every single time I notice something I didn't notice before, and I think it is visually beautiful. The second movie kind of sucks big balls.
Hot garbage?
Yeah, I mean, it was in development hell for like 2 or 3 years. Kit Harington from Game of Thrones was in the movie.
Seriously?
Yeah, and this was after he was already famous, and they still held on to it for 3 years before releasing it direct to DVD. Because, I mean, the Sean Bean is in it, too. The acting is stilted and awful. Visually, it still looks pretty good, but it's not a good movie. I don't know what happened. What I do know is that Christopher Gans was not involved in that because he started writing the second one, and then Konami said, we want something more like the Resident Evil franchise, and he said, that's not what I want to do, so he walked away. For whatever reason, there's a lot of Silent Hill buzz right now. There's a rumor that Konami's working on 2 different games, and now Christopher Gans comes out and says he's working on a 3rd film. I am beyond fucking excited because that is maybe my favorite game franchise. Definitely one of my favorite movies, and when I say one of, I mean it may be number 1. It's possible that it's number 1. If you make me sit down and crunch numbers, it may come out on top. Even though it's not the best horror movie out there, from what the feelings it evokes, when I watch it, when weird shit happens, the way it makes me feel uncomfortable, that's really the reason that I like the movie, because other horror movies I watch it, ooh, jump scare, I'm scared. When I watch this movie, it makes me feel weird. It makes me think. I go to bed that night, because we just recently rewatched it with the kids. I go to bed thinking about the concepts that movie brings up, and I think that's a hallmark of a good movie, and I think it stands the test of time.
Now, isn't that based off of a actual town in Pennsylvania?
Well, the story's made up. Well, no, here's the thing. The movie is based off the town. The game series is not. The movie co-opted the idea of Centralia, Pennsylvania, where there's a fire burning underground.
Right.
And they worked that into the plot. That is not something that is in the games at all.
Okay.
And that's another reason why purists are like, well, this is stupid. None of this shit was in the games, and they just don't seem to understand that. I mean, the first Silent Hill is literally running away from enemies that you can't actually fight, and puzzles. You can't make a movie based on that. You have to add some shit. And as far as, faithful adaptations, I mean, yeah, they took Pyramid Head, which is an iconic figure, who appeared in the second game. They moved him to the first movie. People are pissed about that. The nurses didn't appear in the second or the first game. And that's why people are mad about it. And these are the things that actually made it good. Yes, they kind of jumbled things up a bit,
so
but it worked.
They took the iconic
imagery of the series
and put it into the first movie, but people are pissed about it.
Yes.
Isn't that kind of like Mortal Kombat?
That's exactly like Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat.
But I mean that's the news, kids. I have a few criminal buddies I need to go and pardon now. Spoiler: they're all at this table. Paul.
Well, at least I'm getting a pardon. Just saying.
Yeah, nothing you did matters.
I mean, and that's good. So
that's kind of how I feel every day, anyway.
What?
I was letting the fucking giggles come through. Okay?
Sure.
So I want to start something new.
Good for you.
And this is called Geek Pod's Hot Takes.
Hot what?
Hot takes.
I thought he said hot cakes. Paul, you're drunk.
I like hot cakes too.
I thought he said something else, but we're not going to go there.
Dude,
What did you think I said?
Hot dicks.
Hot takes. That's a different show. That is a totally different show.
That is a different show.
No, Geek Pod's Hot Takes.
There you go. Enunciate.
Enunciate. I always think of the Tick. Remember Tick on Comedy Central?
No.
Like 35 years ago?
You mean the Tick on Amazon Prime?
No, not that one.
Okay, the other Tick.
Yes.
Yes, I
The
know
original.
that
I got ticks. I said ticks.
one. Dude, you know
Ticks.
4 people are going to listen to this and actually think you have ticks.
He does. I've seen him.
Go on, Paul.
You see my tick?
Yeah, it's small.
You're not wrong.
Alrighty then.
So, GeekPod's hot takes. My idea is this is going to be stuff that, most people are probably not going to be happy about. And I don't give a fuck.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I don't give a fuck.
And I want to start with soapbox culture.
Soapbox culture.
Now, I had intended to actually write this up.
But it's great that you waited until you've had like 7 beers to just make it up on the fly.
No,
I applaud your bravery.
It's not that he couldn't. He just can't write.
Right.
If you look at it, it's all typed up.
He's not wrong. You can't read my handwriting.
Nobody can.
No, nobody can.
All right.
So, soapbox culture. I mean, does this resonate with you guys at all?
Well, you're talking about getting up on a box and preaching and saying that you're right when other people are wrong.
Basically.
Yeah.
But it's mostly on our social media platforms.
Oh, God.
And I'm fucking tired of it. I'm tired of the fact that we're going to get people who, I don't know, want to scold us for our choices in what we eat. Or, what our preference is in religion. Or anything that covers it. You know what? Yeah, I don't need to be fucking told what to believe and how to believe it. Okay? And it's happening a lot on Facebook, which is where I'm mostly seeing it. And you know what? This is all for our fucking our pony boys and our fucking atheist guys. And you know what? I'm not always disagreeing with what they have to say. But you know what? I don't fucking need you telling me what to believe or how to believe it.
Believe it.
Right,
Hey, Paul?
testify.
Do you want to step off your soapbox now?
No, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of what I'm doing is I understand that I'm doing the exact same thing that I'm bitching about. But it's a problem for me. And have you guys noticed this?
I can't tell. I can't tell it's a problem.
Okay, well, he's lying, and yes, it is a problem. Here's the thing. What you don't realize is that our culture has become very confrontational. That's why, for instance, Russians are trying to help both Trump and Bernie Sanders win in the election because they realize anything that sows discord is going to cause people to fight. Okay, our lives are good. We no longer die of cholera and measles, at age 14.
Agreed.
We have medical interventions that make us live longer. We don't have to worry about getting food. We can get jobs. I mean, yes, life could be better if we had health care, but it also doesn't suck. What do you do with a society that's actually in a decent place? You pit them against each other. You fight amongst each other over dumb bullshit. A good example that we've talked about in the past. People who have not watched The Walking Dead since the first season chiming in 10 seasons later on every single Walking Dead article. Okay, they're doing that. That's what we call trolls. They're doing that only to be assholes. They're like, oh, well, I see this latest news about the 10th season of Walking Dead. Your show sucked. It should be canceled, and I haven't watched since season 1. And then there's a bunch of people going, why the fuck are you commenting on an article if you haven't watched in season 1? It goes back and forth. Soapbox culture, a soapbox should be when you stand up on that box and you say something that changes people's fucking lives. If it doesn't change their lives, you're a troll.
Shut the fuck up. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Did I make the point for you?
You're actually getting there with me. But it's just...
I'm getting there with you, dude. You might need to slow down a little bit.
You said you're talking about shut the fuck up. All I can think of is Dennis Leary, no cure for cancer. Shut the fuck up. Next.
It's not wrong.
And not the first time that's been referenced on this podcast.
No, absolutely not.
You got no idea where you are, do you?
No, I do, but he literally succinctly brought it up to me.
I'm sorry.
And I said,
I didn't mean to stand on your soapbox, dude.
No, it's fine. I will push you back off. No, it's fine, and we can move on from it because I'm glad it resonated, which was my whole point. And I was going to take shots at other things, but
no,
it's not worth it.
I want to hear what you have to say.
No. Take shots. Come on.
No, because some of them are friends.
Shoot.
So you were going to take shots at friends, but because I defined something, you're not going to take shots at friends?
No, because I'm still flipping.
You're a giant
flipping
pussy.
And flopping off.
You're a pussy.
So anybody who's Paul's friend, remember, he might be flip-flopping on you.
Don't wear flip-flops, man.
I mean, do you really want me to go there?
Go there.
I mean, it's all of our Stay Gold fans and our fucking...
Well, you can always edit the shit out.
I'm not going to. We're lazy.
Well, dude, this is all you. It doesn't
lazy.
reflect on me. So say what you want to say.
Seriously.
I mean, I just don't want to be told, like, who I should be supporting and what I should be eating or how I should be fucking worshipping, even though I don't. You know what I mean?
Well, you shouldn't be worshiping. That's actually the answer there, but, I mean...
And I agree with you, but you know where I'm going with this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's just fucking annoying. Shut your fucking mouth. Like, people can make their own decisions.
I think a good rule of thumb would be, if you want to talk about this stuff, this is why we have Facebook groups. Talk about your shit in groups of people that agree with your shit.
Right, okay. Instead of bringing it out for everyone to have to see.
But that's the issue right there. If you're talking about it in a group, certain people can't see it. If you put it out for the public to see, everybody can fucking see it.
Well, publicly, anybody can look at your group or join your group. They have that option. The problem is, and I see a lot of this on because I'm a member of a lot of atheist groups, free thinker groups, and a lot of very left-leaning type Facebook pages. Not because I don't necessarily always agree with what they say, but they tend to skew in a direction that I appreciate. So, I mean, I'll say atheist all the way, but some of the really far liberal stuff does get to me. But the big thing is, you don't walk into a room full of people who all love the color purple and say, not the movie, just the literal color purple, and say the color purple sucks. That does nothing for your argument. It does nothing for their argument. It's pointless. If you walk into a group of people that's like, we think all colors should be debated, or we like all colors equally, then put your voice in there. It makes sense to make your argument. Right now on the internet, people are walking into groups of other people that all have one single opinion, and they're not trying to change it. They don't care about changing it. All they want to do is cause discord and sow seeds of dissent. And you can't sow seeds of dissent into people that all think the same way. All right. You can do is basically, it's the equivalent. This is why I don't reply to shit on Facebook. It's like, well, no, fuck you, you're wrong, here's why. I mean, even right down to politics. Okay, here's the article that points out everything you said was wrong. I just had an instance this weekend, okay? My middle daughter has decided she wants to be vegan. This is 2 weeks after she decided she wanted to be dairy-free. I think she needs to be dairy-free because of her bowel issues. But her mother's decided to go vegan. I've looked at some of her recipes on Facebook. I was actually thinking about trying a few of them. Not that I want to be vegan, but, vegan bolognese sauce, complete meat-free bolognese sauce. I'm like, that sounds interesting. I wonder how it would be. Now, last weekend, this daughter says to me, my mom's vegan. I like the idea, but I could never go without meat. And she always gets ribs on her birthday, so she's like, I couldn't go without my birthday ribs. I get a text from her mother this week. Ella's decided to go vegan, and she doesn't want to tell you because you said it's stupid. And I'm like, that is not the conversation we had 4 days ago, okay? So her and I had a discussion today about this. And I'm like, listen, I just want to talk to you about this. First of all, I think it's a bad idea that you're making a second lifestyle change so close to making a first lifestyle change.
Right.
Going vegan is the right thing for some people, but you have a specific bowel issue. I think you should stick with dairy-free for at least 6 months, and then maybe
see where it goes.
Yeah, and then make another change. So if something bad happens, you know what caused it. I also told her that you have a tendency to follow fads, and when's the last time you bitched at me for using the wrong pronoun? We've had that discussion before.
Off mic.
Yeah.
So you're sure you want to do this now?
Well, no. Okay, I won't go into detail, but she sees something one week, decides, oh, this is going to be me, and then 3 weeks later she forgets about it.
Gotcha.
But the thing that really pissed me off...
But she's of that age.
Yeah, she is. The thing that really pissed me off is she kept saying, oh, there's this documentary my mom showed me all about veganism, okay? And I looked it up, and I probably could look up the history on my phone and tell you what the name of it is, but I don't want to because I said, did you do the research to see if this documentary was just showing you one side? She said, well, my mom would have done it, so I did it. It took me 5 seconds to find out, oh, wait, hey, here, this documentary, here's how they skewed all the science there. Now, again, not saying veganism is bad, but almost every point that documentary makes is skewed in one way or another.
Of course it is.
Because it was a documentary made by somebody that wants you to be vegan. Now, maybe that's the right choice for her, but, my wife says it's not worth the fight. But I'm like, you know what? How would you feel if you had to share custody with Avery, with me, and I was telling Avery that she needed to go to church or she was going to go to hell? I mean, it's still propaganda, and it still bothers me that she's now asking me to buy different food, make different meals for her. She wants to change her entire life over something that's successful for her mother. Now, her mother did this because she had a medical issue, and she was very stuffy afterwards. I don't need to go into detail. 2 weeks after going vegan, that all stopped. And that's good. She looked at it, and she decided to do that. But now my daughter is deciding, I want to do it too, based on, somewhat false information. Not entirely false information, but somewhat false. And that, I forgot where I was going with all of that.
Soapbox culture?
Yeah, soapbox culture. No, I remember what it was. It basically is, people come in with an opinion, and you try to tear them apart. You try to show them the science. You try to say, hey, no, you're wrong about this. But they never cared about that.
They don't want to hear it. Yeah.
They didn't care about that to begin with. They just wanted to disrupt you. They want to pull you away from your family dinner every 5 minutes to reply to another thing on a Facebook thread. That's the whole point.
Flat earthers.
Yeah, I mean, I see it with there's some people. There's a few people on my Facebook friends that are very, very close friends. There was a point in life where, one of them was my best man at my first wedding, and the shit I see them say these days, I want to point to an article and say, this is don't perpetuate this, and if this is your source of truth, think about all of the other things they say to you. But I've decided not to. Oh, Corbs just wrote, I need to pee on the bottom of a piece of paper. I was wondering hey Corbs, could you grab me a random beer while you're up there?
Yep.
Not a Budweiser.
Make sure you bring Budweiser. Just to punish him. I don't know why I'm punishing you.
Not for me, but one for you. I don't want a Budweiser. Anyway, but yeah, and this has been a real struggle for me recently. I've fought with this a lot because, like I said, one of them was he was the best man at my first wedding. He was my guitarist for 10 years.
How dare you not make me your best man years before you knew me?
Yeah, exactly. It hurts me to see them propagating, putting forth false information, and I do not believe that they're going, hey, here's a lie that I can make people believe. I don't think they're doing that.
No, they buy into it.
They think it's true.
And I don't get it. Because, again, we've had discussions before. Same idea. The best man in my wedding is now a devout Christian. And he was the one, and I know we've made jokes about this before, they gave me the book about anger.
I think maybe that came up once.
I know it did because I shared the picture of it.
Yep. Okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
Guys, this is gonna get bad. Just roll with it.
Yeah, because we're going down roads that we probably shouldn't.
Yeah. And this is why Saturday nights are bad.
But we enjoy them so. And they just get you in trouble.
You enjoy them. Now, I can't lie. I do enjoy spending time with my friends, but yeah, it is...
but you get the aggro at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand it, and I feel bad for that.
But not enough to stop.
No, because everything's about me.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't discussed the fact that I upgraded video game systems.
You did?
I did. Turn around. Look at the red box.
Red box. I don't see what you're talking about.
Before you head up the stairs.
Oh. Do you mean the Nintendo Switch?
Yes.
That's not an upgrade.
I did do, just so you know, the air quotes.
Okay.
My mom bought us a Nintendo Switch, and there was a funny story with it. we were at my family's for Christmas Eve. And, the kids are opening all their gifts. And all of a sudden, across the room, I get launched a box at me.
Okay.
Literally across the room. She threw the fucking box at me. Okay? Hit me in the ding-ding. I'm not gonna lie. She threw a fucking Nintendo Switch at me.
Because that's about how much they're worth.
You know what? We're enjoying it.
Okay, it's not a bad system. It's severely underpowered.
It's Nintendo.
Which is always underpowered. And
yes.
Usually Nintendo has a gimmick. Like, I have a Wii. We played our Wii within the past 2 weeks.
You were touching your Wii.
Seriously, that joke is so fucking old. Let it go.
So is our fucking show.
I mean, the Wii had a great gimmick.
Great show. Great games.
Yeah, the Switch, here's the thing. The Switch basically, it's interesting. I actually had a conversation with my... It
perpetuates the Wii, is what it does.
No, it doesn't.
No, it fucking does.
No, it doesn't.
It's the same thing.
Okay, Paul, shut up. I'm about to school you, okay?
No, you're not.
But yes, I am. I had a conversation with my wife about this 2 weeks ago while we were walking through Target. Nintendo is in a very unique position right now because they have created a product which cannibalizes their most successful product. In the past, they have had a mediocre home video game system and a gangbusters portable system. That's how it's been since the Nintendo 64. Or, well, maybe the GameCube, that was okay. But ever since that, the Wii was popular, but yeah, the 3DS has always been more popular. They now have a product that eats both of those markets. It
does both.
And it's actually successful because they've released the Switch Lite, which is basically a handheld video game system. Now, okay, you have a look on your face.
I do. I'm going to let you finish.
Okay, I do want to hear what you have to say, though. But it's unique because nobody in the video game industry has ever done that before. They thought people were going to play the Switch. Oh, I can take it with me, but it's still a home system. No, people are like, I can take it with me. I don't need a TV. I can just take it with me.
No, you just hit on the fact I don't need to rebuke your thing at all. Because you're right. You're right.
And it's an unexpected... thing.
It wasn't what they expected. Yeah, but it wasn't the purpose.
The 3DS is going out. I mean, this is Nintendo from now on. I think the Switch is now going to be their only product, and it's the only product they need to have.
And you know what? You're absolutely right because they're pushing the Lite.
And I even want one. And I love my PlayStation Vita. I love it. But, I mean, if you can give me a Switch that can play shit like Skyrim and Fallout, I mean, I'll drop the $200. That's at a price point that I'm not going to do it now. But I think Fallout might be on there. Maybe Skyrim is. I know there's been some memory issues because the Switch has been really low memory. Mm-hmm. But if there's a solution for that, like I can use my own SD card, I may be a Switch owner.
Nope, that's the bug.
In the next year. I'm actually actively considering it, only based on the fact they finally released one that without all the bullshit. Because I don't need a high-end connect to the TV Nintendo system.
Welcome back, Cars. We're talking about Nintendo.
Hey, this was a nice play, nice idea, but I probably want something that like has a darker label and has like IPA or something else written on it.
My bad. Next time.
No, you're good.
No. But it's all right. He's just a douche. He's learned from me.
Really?
Just go with it. I'm trying to make you out to be just sympathetic.
So you're a douche?
Oh, we all know that. Come on. Seriously?
You flush out pussies?
Well, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
At least in this time.
You saved that.
Thank you. I mean, we've made that a thing where I had the whole Irish curse thing.
Now, the interesting dynamic I'm noticing is Corbs really goes for the 13-year-old jokes, which completely derail everything because we make the 13-year-old jokes, but we cloak them in more sophisticated things. But he throws it right out there, and it's like...
Look,
no,
I'm a 13-year-old in a 44-year-old body, so...
We know.
No, I'm just letting everybody else know.
It's not a bad thing.
He's putting it out there. He's putting the point on it.
But we've never had. Okay, you realize this is an all-new Geek Pod, even though it's the original Geek Pod. It's an all-new Geek Pod because maybe it's because you're older, or maybe it's because we're recording this while we're drinking beer. But you're actually a different person now than you were when we recorded years ago.
Right? He talks more.
Talks more, interjects more, interrupts more.
I love it.
That's because I've been drinking.
Yeah, probably. But it certainly changes things.
See, that's the thing. You didn't know me when I was younger. When I drank a lot, you couldn't shut me the fuck up,
dude.
Shut up.
I wouldn't have thought that because I would have said you're the quietest friend I had.
No. When I don't drink, you're right. I'm the guy that sits in the corner at a party and just sits over there, doesn't talk to anybody. I've always been that person. I've never, ever...
Paul's shaking his head now.
Finish. Go ahead.
Don't shake your head at me, you fucker.
I will. Because I did 2.5 years with you at ITT, and you were not quiet. Don't give me that bullshit.
He was saying when he was younger, dude.
When I was younger. Younger. Come on.
Oh, fucking...
Pre-fucking?
Dude, ITT Tech was like middle age, okay?
No, I was going
I know you like to think that was high school and you're only like 23, but I mean, that's not the case.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
No, but yeah, when I was younger, I would go to parties. Now, I didn't drink... when I was in high school, I didn't drink a lot. I didn't drink until I got to be about a senior in high school.
Yeah.
All my other friends would drink and whatnot and all that stuff, and I was never something I grew up with, so I didn't know. So when I got to be a senior and you start hanging out at more parties and stuff like that, I started to drink a little more. I got involved with some buddies that still like to drink. So I drank a little bit more. And then as I got to be a little bit older, I got to be 21, 22. That's what we did. Now, when I was 22, I worked at Blockbuster Video in North Syracuse. And behind Blockbuster Video was Carmela's in North Syracuse. Don't laugh. Why are you fucking laughing at me?
He was looking at his phone.
It was actually a burp.
All right, whatever.
Not right in the mic. It's one thing if, I can't help it, I'm burping. But when you burp directly in the microphone, that disrespects our audience.
Fuck them.
That one?
So, I would work Friday night.
Nobody is listening past that. You know that, right? They're all like, okay, I'm done.
They've just completely shut
Guys,
off.
hold on. I have one more good thing.
So, I worked... So I would work Friday nights. So I would work Friday until 5 o'clock. No, I'm good, man. I'm good, thank you. I'd work till 5 o'clock, and all my buddies, my brother, all my friends would work till 5 o'clock, and we would literally go to Carmela's at 5 o'clock on a Friday night. 5:30, okay. We'd meet at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and you had happy hour until 9 o'clock, and it was dollar drafts. So we would sit there and drink until 9 o'clock for dollar drafts. And then at 9 o'clock, happy hour would end, and then you'd have to wait till 11 o'clock, and then it would be $1.25 drafts after 11 o'clock.
So you didn't drink between those hours?
No. We ordered like 4 or 5 beers at that time. You'd get the chips, and then you throw them in, and they'd give you the beer. So then at 11 o'clock, you'd start drinking for $1.25. We'd order food during that time. But my thing is, when I was younger, and I'd go to parties, I'd be the guy off in the corner not doing anything. I maybe have a beer or two off in the corner by myself or with my buddies or whatever. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't socialize. I was very awkward when I was younger, and I wasn't very confident with myself. So as I started to drink more, I got those beer muscles and that beer confidence, so I started to talk a little bit more. So as I got older and I drank more, I became more confident. So the more I drink, the more confident I become, the more I talk. So that's what you're saying is true. If I'm not drinking, I'm kind of the guy that sits back and...
You're like, you talk about baseball for 10 minutes and then you're silent the rest of the show.
Exactly.
It's funny because you know how you said, I had some buddies that drank, so that's what we did. I have a similar story. When I was 13, I joined a blues band full of like 30-year-old guys
right,
playing rhythm guitar. And we drank, and that's what we did. And I didn't stop till I was like 39. There was a real bad period in there.
Yep.
But it was rough because I started at such a young age, and back then nobody carded the band.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Right.
You know, we
right.
drank all night, and it was just, it wasn't that, oh, I'm an alcoholic, I have to drink as much beer. It's like, you're in the band, you drink.
Right.
Yeah, you drink until you pass out. Yeah, I mean, you drink until you pass out next to a girl you don't know.
Right.
I mean, that's just what you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you were in the band. And, I mean, while I don't regret those years, because I definitely had a very interesting life, and where I ended up is like really interesting in comparison to some of the other people that came up with me in the local music scene. I'm not saying for better or worse. I mean, probably worse because I'm no longer in the music scene. But, I mean, damn, I had a good run.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I figure playing in front of about 500 people, you know, for my best show, I mean, that's something I can die proud of that. I mean, it could have been better, yeah, but...
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have never played in front of more than 15 people.
I've never played in front of anybody.
Well, musicians that haven't played.
Right. No. You're right. And my buddy, who I've known since high school, he plays guitar. He's never played in front of anybody. Like you're saying, he's never done it. So I get what you're saying. There's the people that have the confidence to do that. Now, it's not that he lacks confidence. He was never in that music scene.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he doesn't play, but I will say that I'll go over to his house. I mean, he's my best friend. I've known him since high school, known him since 10th grade.
Well, I'll tell you this, since you know a musician, and I'll throw this out there, and I don't think I've actually said this officially, and I guess I'm saying it officially on mic. I can't let shit like that interfere with the life I've built for myself, but I do believe that I have one more band left in me. And I will say this because the last band I was in, I have one recorded show we did where I was drinking out of a straight bottle of vodka, because it was like a show at a buddy's house, and it was like his annual summer barbecue, and we were all fucked up. But every other show we did, and even though I'd played with this band for a period of about 10 years, we did go through a break and then a change of people and stuff, but it was the same band for about a decade. Beginning of that decade, I was fucking hammered every time we played, every time we practiced. The end of that decade, I was like, I want to be sober until the show's over. Because I finally realized that, you know, you used to think, oh, I'm better when I'm looser. I realized I wasn't. At this age, I would love to give it one more try because, first of all, I know that's not going to be an issue because I know I'm at my best when I'm at my most alert. And I think that it would be interesting to try, but it can't. I mean, I can't do going home at 3 a.m. anymore. Not in the position I'm in. So I would love to give it another try. If there are any musician friends out there that would like to give it a shot, probably not going to happen, but.
That's all right. I'm going to ask you. You just got back from the bathroom. I'm assuming everything come out okay.
I whip my own ass.
Scuba Steve.
You know they're doing a pop vinyl, like the bobblehead figures of him.
Oh, are they?
Nice.
Yes. Nice.
I'm assuming Hugh had to take a piss.
I'm assuming.
I literally put a beer down in front of him and he literally jumped up and walked away. What'd I miss?
We were just talking about like
Scuba Steve. Perfect.
No, we were talking about like everybody says. I mean, I'm very much an introvert. You've known me for going on what 10 years, maybe.
Has it been that long?
Has it been that long?
When did we go?
2000.
I've been with my current position for 6 years.
Okay, so 7
at least before we graduated.
So 8. We'll say 2012. 2010.
Would it be fun for us to post the picture of
I still have a picture of the three of us.
The three of us? Yes.
Yes.
That's the same one I'm talking about,
yep,
but I think we have to get his permission before we can post that.
Yep.
You know what?
Have you talked to him at all?
Yeah, he's a house husband.
I think I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I've seen stuff on Facebook. I mean, I know his wife was headhunted. That's why they moved where they. That's why they moved where they were. She was headhunted to go down there and be.
Yes.
So I would assume she makes decent money where he doesn't really need
to do that anymore.
To do anything else, which is perfectly fine.
It's great.
No offense. I mean, if I could find a fucking girl that can pay the bills, I would fucking stay home with the kids. I'm okay with that. So
here's my question: Do we pull him in this summer for an episode with three of us, a special episode?
I don't see where that would be I mean, when's he going to be here, though? I mean, I
don't know. Do you remember when I told you he was a pirate? You don't remember that?
I don't remember that.
At school, we told our friend, well, we as in me. Well, listen to that, Smithix.
I am so glad you found one of those.
I found it in the back of the fridge. You're welcome.
You actually rummaged around in the back of the fridge.
I heard him up there.
Just for you, my friend. But I told him he was a pirate because he had the big bushy beard.
Yep.
And the earrings.
Yep.
And so he was a pirate. And so I told him he was okay with it.
I was thinking about ITT the other day.
The fact that we all got anally raped? Yeah.
I was thinking about the fact that I thought I was ending my night with a Bavarian Weizen fucking donut thing that, Corbs brought me, but Paul brought me a Smithix, and I'm happy
What the fuck did you bring him?
Whatever's on the label in the beer next to you.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with fucking Sam Adams buffet.
You can't even say it.
He's done.
We're done.
He's done.
We're done. Maybe I won't fuck my neighbor. We'll see.
Maybe I won't fuck my neighbor? What did I miss?
Fight, not fuck.
That's not what it sounded like. It's not what it sounded like.
It's not.
That's a whole different story. Can I just point out that this is like a 40-minute half of the episode already?
You like to point that out. What's the total? I mean, where were we before?
I mean, think about it. We were over an hour and change. So,
what kind of change?
Those fucking guys.
Well, that could be like an hour and 50 minutes or, 2 hours and 30 minutes, depending on where we stop. So it really doesn't
Let's
give
see
us
what
a
we
good-
got. Let's do it.
Let's just finish the show.
Well, no, because I was talking to you about ITT because I ran into, what the fuck's her name? Titties. Ann?
This is
Jody?
awesome.
Oh,
here.
wait. Whoa. Redhead?
Yeah. I can't remember her name.
We can probably get sued, but just don't finish her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
How'd you run into her?
Well, I was at...
Was she bringing in?
No, she was with her boyfriend. Somebody. She was with another person. I didn't talk to her because I don't think she recognized who I was. I was at OIP one day, and I saw her in there. And I just was like, I know that girl.
Okay. Did you talk to her?
No, because she didn't fucking know who I was.
Christ.
And she was with another guy, dude. I didn't want to go have to fight somebody on work. I mean, that's just wrong. Sorry, I digress.
So comic picks.
Yes.
All of a sudden, you read comics again.
Yeah, well, dude, I do read comics.
I don't.
I'm actually caught up. I'm completely caught up.
We stopped doing this before because you outright told me on an episode that you don't have time to read comics anymore.
Yeah, but you know what, Paul? In all fairness, part of the reason I didn't have time to read comics and bring them to the show is because you weren't reading comics at all.
That's not true. I always read comics if they have Moon Knight or Nova in them.
Okay, and when during the 9-month span where there's not a Moon Knight or Nova comic,
You mean the every month span?
yeah, basically. But no, I actually do have a comic pick. What did I put down there?
I have a comic pick, but I don't remember what it is.
Well, no, I wrote this up yesterday.
Deceased
Yes.
Unkillables #1.
Yes, I did. I did want to talk about this.
Did you buy this?
Yes, I did.
Well, motherfucker, I bought a copy for you today.
Here's the thing.
So I have an extra. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. I don't check with you before I buy.
I was gonna say, how dare you not tell me everything you buy?
Here's the thing. I've given a lot of thought to this over the past few days. What I wanted to say about this, Corbs, I'm about to give you some comic knowledge to try to absorb.
Can you drop some knowledge on me?
Yes. So years ago, Marvel did something called Marvel Zombies, and the idea was that a zombie virus infected the Marvel Universe. The thing was, while it made normal people zombies, it made the superheroes, because they have different systems. Well, the super zombies, yes, but here's the thing. They didn't lose their minds except when they were hungry. After they ate, they could think about all the horrible things they did until they got hungry again, and they lost their shit. And there was a whole bunch of series of comics that talk about different parts of this whole thing. It happened on an alternate universe, of course. Now, DC decided to do their own thing called Deceased. And first of all, good name. Good.
It was cool, yeah.
And the first series was good. The only problem I had with it, even though I loved it, first of all, I mean, the zombies still sort of have some intelligence, but they're infected by something called the anti-life equation. That's a thing in the DC universe. I really wish they'd just gone with an actual zombie virus.
Instead of tying it into Darkseid.
Yeah. I wish they'd just gone with that. Because it doesn't matter what you do. It's totally going to look like a copy of Marvel Zombies.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, there's no. You try to separate it and make it like, tricky or something. It doesn't matter. It's a copy of Marvel Zombies. But that's okay because you're the competitor to Marvel. And you're going to do your own thing. I mean, Marvel Zombies was 15 years ago. Okay.
Holy shit! Was it?
No, I'm just spitballing. I don't know, but I mean,
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong either. But it's still cool to see the DC Universe heroes, which are different, kind of dealing with the same thing. Big problem with the first series is that too many of the big names fell.
Gone.
Yeah, and they said this new series, Unkillables, this is why we didn't touch on that many of the villains in the first series, because we wanted to leave some. This is an ongoing thing, and they wanted to leave some villains and people left over to tell stories about. Well, the people they left over, Harley Quinn, of course, the Queen. I watched the series finale of her animated show this evening with my daughter, and the Harley Quinn animated show, fucking top notch.
Really?
Yeah, fucking great.
Haven't checked it out.
So fucking funny. I mean, they took to the point of, at one point, the Queen of all Fables sends them all up to Jack and the Beanstalk, and Poison Ivy's trying to distract Harley Quinn from asking her why she has Kite Man's number memorized, and she's like, how big do you think that giant's dick is? Okay, this is how this cartoon goes, yes.
That's awesome.
It's so fucking funny. Anyway, but Harley Quinn, okay, and here's the rest of your A-listers for this series. Mirror Master.
Okay. Flash villain.
Bane.
Okay.
I don't even remember who else, because they don't fucking matter. Okay, they say they left some villains left over. Deathstroke. Okay, Deathstroke's cool, but still, I don't believe for a second. Yes, they thought maybe they could continue this, but they shot their load on the first one.
Gotcha.
Too many of the
heroes. This is a 3-issue series.
This is a 3-issue series, but they say they want it to, deceased in general, they want to make it a lot of, mini-series. They did too much damage in the first one, because everybody's already gone. Batman, Superman, I don't remember what happened to Wonder Woman, which is pretty much how I feel about Wonder Woman in general. But all the major ones are gone. I mean, Flash is gone, Green Lantern's gone, everybody's gone. I really wish they had taken the time. You know who did this kind of alternate universe thing best in the past decade? Was Injustice, the Injustice comics. Deceased should have been like the Injustice comics.
Okay.
Separated from continuity and given plenty of room to breathe and tell a good story. Because I think that in the DC universe, you have a lot of heroes that are gods, whereas in Marvel universe, you only have a few heroes that are gods. When you get zombies involved there, and can zombies turn gods, and what happens if a zombie does turn a god, that's kind of a big deal. That's a big changing point in the story. In Marvel, there aren't a whole lot of heroes that are like gods, so the ones that were like gods didn't really get turned. In DC, I mean, half the heroes are fucking...
Right.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting variation on the story, and I really wish they'd given it time to breathe. And they certainly didn't, and they want to turn this into an extended thing. And by the third extension of this, I mean, we're going to be finding out what Black Manta did during the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
And I don't fucking care.
Agreed.
That being said, DC Unkillables #1, great fucking comic. But I read it and I'm like, this is really good, and I'm really pissed off at the lost potential here.
Right. It's unfortunate, really. Because, like you said, good issue. Where do you go from there?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they have a story in mind for these characters, but, I mean, they have 3 good characters and, 5 other characters I'm not even sure I've actually... I don't even know if I've ever seen Mirror Master in something, okay?
Which Mirror Master?
I have no fucking idea who that is.
Exactly.
He shows up and says, come escape with me through my mirror, and they go. It made me sad and happy at the same time.
Happy and sad.
Sappy?
Sappy. Let's go with it.
Which, how much more do we have on that list?
He's rolling into his sports report now.
Well, what the fuck you got over there?
What?
Have we not had enough sports already?
No.
Fucking A.
I have my WTF.
Right, call me and put me on speakerphone, and I'll sign up.
All right, so sports report, I guess.
I was going to say, you got a whole lot of shit right in front of you.
Well, I got 2 pages, so go fuck yourself.
Holy fuck, even more.
So the big thing now for sports is I don't know. I mean, do you still watch Sports Center in the morning? Do you follow sports? Do you do anything?
I try to keep up.
What does that mean?
It means no.
Okay. So the big thing now is the sign stealing scandal in baseball. You know about that?
I do.
All right. So the Astros got caught stealing signs from other teams. They had some elaborate scheme where they were using a camera attached to a computer. It was relaying signs through an algorithm to the players in the dugout, and they were sending the signs to the players that were hitting by beating on a trash can.
Mm-hmm.
What? So my thing of it is I play baseball. You know that I'm a baseball freak. I play baseball. Still play baseball to this day. I played in over 30 league during the summertime. You're always trying to get an advantage when you're on the base pass. So the guy at second base is always looking. You can always look in behind the pitcher to the catcher. You can see the signs that they're putting down. So, but the thing with the catcher is they're always, throwing down random signs, and there's always some indicator that they've got that is the second sign after the indicator, whatever the fuck the case may be. It's different for every team. So, how do you know what pitch is coming anyways? So, if you don't know, there's no advantage there.
Right.
But I played baseball all through high school and even a little bit in college. And the guy at second base, when you get on second base, you're always trying to give the hitter an advantage. You're always trying to steal signs. Always trying to tell the hitter what pitch is coming, whatever it might be. My whole thing with that is there's 2 things. A, you got to be right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not right, don't fucking matter. And B, it's got to be in the strike zone. You can know what pitch is coming. And I spoke with my father, he's been my coach when I was in Little League, when I was in A-ball, whatever, all the way through. He didn't coach my high school team, but, him and I talked about it on Thursday at my nephew's hockey game. This shit has gone on for centuries. Stealing signs, trying to get an advantage as the hitter. So my thing is what's the big deal? The big deal is the fact that they were using a computer algorithm to get the information to the hitter.
I gotta say, for half of that, I thought you were talking about literal signs, like people were running around stealing Astro signs, and I was like, this sounds like the plot from a 1970s Batman. Joker's really good idea to steal a bunch of signs.
Right. So, basically it's, fastball, curveball, slider, whatever the pitch might be. My whole thing is yeah, you can know what pitch is coming. And yeah, there's an advantage to know what pitch is coming. Fastball, you got to be a little quicker to the ball, whatever it might be. But my whole big thing with this whole thing is that pitch is still got to be a strike. Mm-hmm. It's got to be in the strike zone. If it's not, what the fuck does it matter?
Right.
I've thought about it. I've thought about it in my head. I've talked to myself about it because that's the only person that I can talk to about these things. I have great conversations with myself about these things. The Astros fired their GM, and they fired their manager because he was going to be suspended for an entire year because of the whole situation, because he knew what was going on, didn't report it, yada yada yada. They were fined $5 million for this thing, but none of the players are being punished for it. So, and on top of that, Alex Cora from the Red Sox.
Yep.
He was fired because of the whole situation. Because he was part of the team in 2017. He was a bench coach at the time. He knew what was going on. So they were going to suspend him for a year, so the Red Sox cut ties with him. Mm-hmm. And then Carlos Beltran, who just got hired as the Mets manager, was let go also. He was only the manager for 2 months, but he was a member of the team in 2017 when they won the World Series. They cut ties with him right off the bat. In the old days, this would have been handled on the field. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Guys, in the old days, back when, in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, even the 80s, you did shit like this, you got hit. You took a fastball in the hip, you took a fastball in the back. Players handle the situations themselves. And I don't understand why these things have gone away from that. My big thing is this should be handled by the players. The players should be taking advantage of it. Now, am I saying, the players need to throw at certain people intentionally? No. I don't agree with throwing at people intentionally, but on the same token, the game has changed from when I played, and I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the fact that you can't throw inside anymore. If you throw inside, hit somebody, there's a bench clearing brawl. It's gotten to be too much like petty bullshit. Mm-hmm. I guess is the word I'm saying. So the whole thing with the science scandal is, I think this should be handled by the players on the field. Some of these guys need to get hit. I think the Astro guys know that they're going to get hit.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's the way it should be handled. I'm not somebody who's going to go out there and throw at guys intentionally, but some of these guys need to be hit. Some of the star players need to get hit, and I think they need to realize that that's going to happen. And then it should be done. You did it. You got caught. Whoop-de-freaking-do. 4 or 5 guys get drilled throughout the course of the year type of thing. You get hit a couple of different times, whatever it might be. Next year it's all over with.
Right, look the other way.
Yeah.
Take your punishment.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the Astro players know that this is coming. They're thinking, okay, maybe not the first game, maybe not the second game, maybe not the 10th game, maybe mid-season, I'm going to get drilled for this.
Yeah, it's coming.
And
it should be.
It should be. And they should understand that this is how it's going to be handled. If you've got a problem with it, get the fuck out the game.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm a proponent, and I've always told this. I told my father this. I told anybody who, if I was managing, my pitchers would always pitch inside. And if you hit somebody, who cares? Because players nowadays, I know you don't watch baseball. I know you don't watch sports.
Well, I know it's a lot harder to hit a home run with the balls closer to your center of mass.
Right.
That makes sense.
But here's the thing. With the guys nowadays, and you can attest this, guys crowd the plate more.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was playing, you didn't crowd the plate because you were afraid to get hit.
Correct.
You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit in the head. You're going to get hit in the back. When I was at JV, when I played JV, and this coach, I absolutely love this coach. The first batting practice, he told you, and he forgot told you, stand in the box. I'm going to fucking hit you. I'm going to throw inside, and you're going to deal with it. If you move out of the way, you're not going to hit. I'm going to put you on the bench. You're going to watch everybody else hit. He made sure that you were aware that this was going to happen. And it's going to happen in the game. You're not going to be able to do anything about it. So get used to it. And he literally would throw at you. Now, I started out as a freshman, and the very first time he threw at me, I backed out of the box. And he looked at me and said, "What the fuck are you doing? Don't back out of the box."
Did he actually say fuck?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And he would throw at you intentionally, and he would literally throw at your head intentionally. And
this is how we get concussions.
Yep.
This is back to the concussions.
It's a background.
So, but you realized that it was going to happen. It was going to happen in the game. You were going to get thrown inside. You were going to get hit. It was part of the game, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, after the first practice, second practice, it wasn't a big deal. He would throw inside. You wouldn't care about it. You'd get hit. I mean, he literally would hit you during batting practice.
So you get used to it.
You get used to it. So in the game time, when somebody threw inside, you weren't diving out of the way. You weren't moving. He always said, if somebody's going to throw inside, just turn your back to it, because that's where your most protection is. Your back, your ass.
Except for your kidneys.
Well.
No, who knew that?
And you laugh, and I got hit.
No, we need our kidneys back.
I don't.
So, but the whole science stealing scandal, I just think the players need to to mitigate the punishment to the other players and let it be done.
Just put that anywhere.
So that's my whole take on the sign stealing scandal. Everybody's like, oh, the players that they stole from the other players. The Yankees should have won the World Series that year. Yada yada yada.
Fuck those fucking fuckers.
Seriously, well, let's not get into that right now. So let the players handle the punishment. That's my take on that thing. It's just let the players handle the punishment throughout the league. Each team, whatever you feel. I mean, if the Yankees want to hit you, then you know what? Let them do it. Get it done and over with. Be done with it. Move on. It happened. You can't change it. Let the players deal with it.
How much am I getting paid to get hit with a baseball?
Millions of dollars.
Okay, fuck it.
Right?
Right, exactly. You're getting paid, and this is my whole take on this whole thing, and I can go into a whole drawn out thing on this. It doesn't talk about baseball. It's football. You're getting paid to play a game. Stop showboating.
Right?
And I'm not going to go into it because that's going to be a long, drawn-out thing.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that this was just like the first 3 sentences on your page. So,
so that's my whole take on the sign stealing scandal with the Astros. Let the players mitigate the punishment and be done with it. Stop bitching about it. It happened. You can't change the fact that it happened. Move on.
Right. They're not taking away the championships.
Right. They're not going to do it. Deal with it. Let the players mitigate the punishment and be done with it. A couple other things that I've got. I watched the Daytona on Monday because it got rained out on Thursday.
Scary shit.
Scary shit, yeah. And that's what I was going to bring up. Ryan Newman involved in a serious accident on the last lap. Car flipped in the air, landed on its roof, was T-boned right on the driver's side, ended up in the hospital, serious, non-life-threatening injuries.
Walked out of there.
2 days later, walked out of the hospital.
is he related to Paul Newman?
No.
Then I don't care.
But I and you're right. But I'm happy.
I'm right. I am really.
Well, no. It's. But I watched it, and I watched it. My son and I we were having dinner when it happened, and car flipped over. Like I said, T-boned right on the driver's side, right at the driver's side window. And he walked. He didn't walk away. Took him to the hospital, but he was able to walk out of the hospital 3 days later.
Mm-hmm.
And that's amazing, because I don't know if you know this. 19 years to the day, Dale Earnhardt died on that same track, same lap, same position, which was freaky when it happened because they talked about it after that, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Now, he's gonna say that Dale Earnhardt's ghost protected him or something.
No.
I've seen all the fucking.
There are gonna be memes and Facebook shit about
right,
this.
and I don't. But
it's been done. Yeah.
Right, and I'm not getting into that, but it was weird that it was 19 years to the day. I mean, literally 19 years to the day that Dale Earnhardt passed away, hitting the wall on the final turn, same spot that Ryan Newman hit. Not the same type of accident, but still, it was kind of freaky that was what happened. And I talked. I was the next day. I was sitting at the dinner table with my mom, and I had SportsCenter on in the background, like I always do. And they started talking about him, and he hadn't really come around. He had started to come around. He wasn't really awake yet. But there was no update on him yet. And then the next day he was awake. He was talking, and the next day he walked out. Of the hospital.
You do realize that it's not weird because things are only weird when they happen in groups of 10. Decades.
Right.
10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. 19 years ago. It sounds really impressive because it's over 10, but it's 19. So nothing important's going to happen then.
True. Well, all right.
I'm still listening. Yeah.
Are you sure?
For the most part.
Paul's playing Candy Crush.
No. Baby Yoda.
He's watching Baby Yoda. I touched on it earlier. Spring training started this past week. First games were today. They're talking about the Yankees and the Dodgers being the favorites, American League, National League. I don't know if the Yankees are the favorite, because the Yankees are the favorite every year. Don't you agree?
Oh, without a doubt.
Every year. They
whether I like it or not.
Right. And well, you're a Red Sox fan. Obviously, you're never going to like it. But this whole game is predicated on pitching. They picked up the best free agent pitcher, Garrett Cole. Mm-hmm. Don't disagree with that. They are the favorite to win the whole thing. But what happens if somebody gets hurt? I mean, last year Stanton was hurt.
Which is going to happen.
Right. Guys get hurt. Guys miss year. Stanton missed the entire year last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, what happens if Cole gets hurt? What happens if Severino gets hurt? You know, you go from being the favorite to being not the favorite anymore. Stop anointing people
right before
the season starts.
It's not going to happen.
Right. What happens? I mean, what happens if some of these guys have what happens if Cole can't pitch in New York City? You know, what happens if he has a bad year or whatever it might be? Whatever it might be. Stop anointing. And the same thing with the Dodgers. I mean, I know you know that the Dodgers picked up Mookie Betts and David Price from the Red Sox. Stop looking at Mr. Clean like that. Looking at Mr. Clean.
What the fuck? You are looking at Mr. Clean. Did you lie about the kind of porn you watch?
No, but I also can't defend myself because it's too fucking funny.
So, I mean, you know that Mookie Betts and David Price got traded.
Yes, unfortunately.
And immediately got traded. They were like Red Sox, Dodgers, or not White Sox, Yankees, Dodgers World Series.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's January.
Right.
It's not October.
Started.
Right. I mean, you can't say these teams are going to make the World Series. Yeah, okay, they're the favorite, and that's, oh, they're the favorite. Ooh, okay. What happens if people get, I mean, shit happens.
When? You mean?
Right. When somebody gets hurt, because it's inevitably going to happen. Somebody's going to have a bad year, you know, this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, my thing is stop anointing these people in January,
right.
December.
It hasn't been done.
Right. Let the season start a little bit, and then you can start talking about that shit. Stop talking about it in fucking February.
Fuck you fucking fuckers.
Right. The other thing I got, high school. I talk high school because my nephew is on the FM hockey team. And I'm going to praise the FM hockey team because they made sectionals this year. They're the third place team overall.
Nice.
My nephew is the third line forward. They have like I said, they made sectionals third place. They beat Rome on Thursday night, and 2-1. So they play again tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Actually, it's tomorrow. They play Monday at Shove Park for the chance to play for the sectional title.
Camillus?
Yep.
Okay.
Very good. I'm impressed.
I know Shove Park.
I'm impressed. Do you play football there, or do you just go there and touch people?
Let's not go there. Let's not discuss why. No Shove Park.
So yeah. So my shout out is to my nephew. He's played hockey his entire since the time he was 3 or 4 years old. He's played hockey and he loves it. This year's been a struggle for him because he wasn't playing a lot. He got hurt at the beginning of the year, broke his shoulder blade, which is tough to do. When they took him to the doctors, the doctor told him that the shoulder blade is the hardest bone in the body to break.
Jesus Christ.
They see that a lot of times they see it as only in violent car crashes. And he broke his shoulder blade. He was out 6 weeks. Came back, didn't play a lot. But towards the end of the season, the coach kind of put him on the ice. And since he's been playing more, the team has played a lot better.
Nice.
So it makes me feel good. It makes my brother feel good. My sister-in-law, my mom, our whole family. We go to every single game. We're there every time for him, cheering for him. So it's great to see them playing well. I'm hoping they can beat West Indian, which is the top team. Excuse me, in the conference. So if they can beat them, they got a chance at the sectional title and can go on to states. So hopefully Monday night they actually play well and win. If they don't, so be it. But it's been a good season for them. He actually scored a goal down in Rome for a tournament they were in for Christmas. So that's the only point he had for the year. But good for him. I mean, it was exciting because we were there for it.
Right.
So it was nice to see. Last couple things I got. First and foremost is rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Yes, we haven't touched on that yet.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant and his daughter, unfortunately killed in not car accident, Jesus Christ, helicopter crash.
The memes were awful.
Oh my God! Right?
So, obviously I didn't know Kobe personally, but from
No, I didn't.
from the stories that I heard, I mean, when he first
used to clean my cat boxes, but only on the second Wednesday of every month when he wasn't playing a game.
He was busy. Yeah.
when he wasn't busy.
Yeah.
Nice. So great player, definite. He's supposed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Was his first year eligibility. No doubt he's going to get in.
Well, now, yeah.
Even before this, but now, yeah. But a great loss to the basketball community. His daughter.
Yeah, that's awful.
That was awful. That was the fact that, and it's not just him and his daughter. I mean, everybody that was involved.
There was about 9 other people.
9 other people in the crash. One of the guys that was killed was a coach for a junior college baseball team that is like the best junior college baseball team in the country. Him, his wife, and their daughter. So they had another son and another.
So what you're saying is statistically there was someone way hotter than him on that plane when it went down.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. It's
a possibility, right?
It is a possibility.
All right,
Well, I mean, there was females on the plane, on the helicopter. So.
I mean, there could have been somebody, more important, somebody smarter, somebody more important to the entire world than just that basketball star that went down.
Exactly.
Well, who did we hear about, though?
I mean, you're right. You hear about Kobe, you hear about his daughter. That was the big thing. I like what CNN did. I mean, they talked about Kobe the first day, but as they found out that there was other people on the flight, they started talking more about everybody.
That's good.
On the flight, on the helicopter, and it was a helicopter. The more you hear about it, it was a helicopter that was they had taken many a times. It was a helicopter that they flew more than once.
Yeah, because he didn't drive downtown like the plebes. He only flew downtown.
Right, and that was everybody was like, oh, well, why is he flying from his house to there? It was like a 2-hour car ride to where they were going, and it was like a 15-minute flight.
This is Los Angeles. A 2-hour car ride is like 3 or 4 blocks.
Right, that's true. That's very true. But as you found out more and more, the helicopter was not. Did not have the capabilities to fly in the weather that it was flying in. The pilot did, but the helicopter did not. No black box, so they don't know really what was going on. The air traffic controllers were trying to direct them down the highways and whatnot, but shit happens, I'm going to throw up on myself.
So what you're saying is the pilot got a message that says one of the passengers has information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton?
Maybe. I don't know.
Fly into the hillside.
just crash that fucking
thing. No, they don't fly into it doesn't say that. They just do it because they know.
Right. So, all joking aside, rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gianna, which is his daughter. Joe Antonelli, which was the coach from Orange County, and everybody on the helicopter.
There were 9 of them?
9 of them total. Between the pilot, Kobe and his daughter, and everybody else on the flight, there was a girl. Joe Antonelli's daughter was on Kobe's daughter's basketball team. And what they've done after it happened, I mean, the NBA, they did. Every team did some sort of tribute for Kobe Bryant. One team took a 24-second shot clock violation, which is the amount of time you have to shoot.
Yeah, I know.
And then the other team, so one team, whoever team got the tip, they took an 8-second backcourt violation because that was his number when he first started out playing, and then as he switched to 24 when he was in the middle of his career. So they did an 8-second backcourt violation, which means they didn't bring the ball over to half court in time, and it was prearranged by each team. And then the next team took a 24-second violation in honor of Kobe, and it was across the board. It wasn't just like certain teams. It wasn't the Lakers. It wasn't every team. Both teams on each side did it. So,
without getting into it in detail, I just want to ask you, since you're the sports guy,
yep.
I've also seen a lot of things about it's awful that he died, and there were a bunch of people that accused him of rape. Is there? Because I know those things aren't always true. I don't follow sports, so I didn't know this story. Is there anything to that? And not
Yes.
saying he was killed because of that,
No.
but...
No, but
Okay.
he did. There was allegations, and it was proved that he did have extramarital affair with some. I can't remember the whole situation behind it, but basically it was he had an extramarital affair one time when he was rehabbing his knee in like Colorado with his trainer or something like that.
He doesn't realize rehabbing your knee and rehab are like not the same thing, and really not. One is a good excuse for fucking another woman, the other isn't.
Right.
Okay.
So, but his wife, God rest, his wife stuck by him to the whole thing. They have 4 kids. Obviously, his middle daughter was killed in a helicopter crash with him. He has an older daughter and 2 younger daughters.
So what you're saying is that regardless of the bits of news I found, and now you can't find anything. If you search Kobe Bryant, it's all flowery memorial shit.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't feel bad about feeling bad about him dying.
No.
All right, you feel comfortable saying that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it happens. It happens. It happened. It happens every day. People die every day.
Well, no, I mean the rape allegations. 'Cause,
No.
some people were saying, he was accused of rape and blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
he was accused of rape. He was proven that it did happen. The girl that he had sexual relations with.
It was proven he did rape somebody?
Yeah.
He raped somebody.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay, because extramarital relations and raping somebody, one of those gets you your own NBA Jam marquee, the other doesn't.
Well, it originally came out as
Paul's like, I'm conflicted on the name of the show now.
he's gonna piss himself over here.
No, I'm good.
That might be the best joke I've ever made.
At the time, he was accused of and proven that it did happen. It was not consensual at the time, but years later, it came out that it was consensual. She was looking to get some money behind it, type of thing. So,
Okay.
so it was kind of you both.
How was he still in the NBA if
Oh,
at least for a little while it was rape?
Let's not go there.
Okay.
Let's not go there. And the last thing I want to talk about is something that's close to me is SU basketball. I love Boeheim. He's a great coach. People think he's maybe coached past his prime. I mean, but his team this year, no, they're not going to make the NC2As. It doesn't happen very often where he does not make the tournament. Maybe I was talking about maybe once every 10 years he doesn't make the tournament. But his team this year is very young. It's a young team. He's got his son, who's a sophomore. His starting point guard is a freshman. He's got 3 juniors at the back of the lines. He's got 3 juniors at the power forward, small forward, and the center. So they're a very young team. I think next year they're going to be a powerhouse team. Because the kid who came in this year is Joe Girardi. And he's not related to Joe Girardi from the Yankees. Just going to put that out there. He's from Glens Falls.
Oh, well, thank you, because I totally thought they were brothers.
Yeah, no, they're no relation whatsoever. He is the leading point scorer in high school basketball history for New York State. Chose to go to SU. He's been great this year. Didn't start out he wasn't even starting at the beginning of the year, but the starting point guard got hurt. He stepped in. When he stepped in, the team started to play a little bit better, but they're again, young team, bad shots, not playing well. Played well of late. They won today, but they lost 5 straight before that. So it's growing pains, and I think everybody who's an SU fan, basketball fan, they just need to kind of pump the brakes and kind of be like, hey, this year is a growing team, it's a young team, but next year I think they're going to be a very good team. So we'll have to wait till next year because, like I said, they're not going to make the tournament this year unless they win out and then win a few games in the ACC tournament. Will they make the tournament? So,
But you're not seeing that.
I don't see it. I don't see them making the tournament. I hope to God they prove me wrong. If they win out and win 2 games in the tournament, in the ACC tournament, they got a chance. But I just don't see it this year. Not this year. Next year, look out. I think they can make the Final Four next year. So, and that's what I got for sports. Any comments, questions, concerns? No, you can go fuck yourselves.
I was going to say, like, route them to Corbs at we don't actually have an email for you.com.
True. But, yeah. I mean, and if anybody wants me to talk about anything, sports-wise or whatever...
$20.
Nah, I'll say 10.
So, before we end the show, I do want to say that I'm rather proud of myself for something that happened this week. I used... Now, has anyone here seen the movie Waiting?
Yes.
Yes.
Love that movie.
Okay. You do realize that's an accurate description of working in food service at that time.
It
Not
is.
sure how it is now. Yeah, but I lived it. I lived the bat wing. People pulling their genitals out and making
The brain.
shapes
Oh
out
my
of it.
God, the brain.
Yes. And then calling you a faggot for actually... Because you
seeing
walked
it,
around a
yeah.
corner. Yeah. I actually used a line from that movie to teach my 8-year-old how to spell something. She says to me yesterday... She's in the back of the car while we're driving around. We're trying to grocery shop. We're in North Syracuse. And we're driving around. She goes, "How do you spell extraordinary?" And I go, "Well, Avery, you know how to spell extra, right?" She goes, "Yes." "You know how to spell ordinary, right?" I go, "Yeah." And they go, "Well, the difference between..." You know what I'm going to say, don't you? The difference between extra and extraordinary is that little extra. I put my hand up and everything. I'm making the little... Yeah, the bald guy making the... And she goes, "Oh, extra and extraordinary are the same, except one has extra on it." She totally got it. That's how she spelled
Perfect.
it. I was blown away, and I'm like, wow. I actually used a line, an exact line from it. Was it PG-13 or R? It had to be R.
I think it was PG-13. No, it might have been
Well, there
R.
was the fucking bush flash.
That's a good point.
Yeah, from a comedy movie from the 90s to teach my kid how to spell. I was fairly proud of myself.
That's phenomenal. I'm not going to lie.
So what do you got? And, what do you have for your WTF? Because I know you're looking at it. You've got it all lined up.
I do. I have it in hand, and that's not what was written on the thing. So.
Good, because we're not going to end the show that way either.
So, overheard at Destiny, 2 teenage boys walking through the mall. Neither one of them looking like they'd be way too popular with the ladies. But as I'm walking up on them, I hear one side to the other say, "I mean, I could break my arm and be okay. But, like, if you slap me even kind of hard in the face, I'm probably going to cry."
What?
What?
These are the gentlemen we're raising these days.
Let's not go there.
He seems to think that it's okay if he breaks his arm, but you slap him in the face kind of hard, he's going to cry like a little bitch.
Well, in all fairness, you could, like, fuck me up really badly, and I'll get up and, like, fuck you up badly, too. But, if you, like, thwack my balls with 2 fingers, I'm probably going to go
That's
down.
a different story. The balls are one thing. But literally, if you're going to cry over getting slapped in the face, what the fuck? And on that note, mega money bitches.
This has been a Geek Pod Network production. Show notes and links to our social media can be found on our webpage, www.geekpod.com. That's G33KPOD.com. Want to help us out? Please rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Reviews really help keep us on the charts. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.